in 3 games to this point, and the turnover margin has been an issue. They're -3 on the year, and that's got to change. The Shaw Eagles, coached by the outstanding 16th-year head coach Scott Bainsfather, who, of course, was the head coach at Holy Cross previously and really changed the program at that time and did a great job before going back to Shaw. And Bainsfather led the Eagles to the state finals in 4A in 2006, 2007, and 2008. Last year, the Eagles were 4-7, 1-5 in the league, and lost to Jesuit in a rematch in the playoffs, 35-21. Shaw won the 4A state championship in 1987 under Hank Tierney, and then they were the runner-ups under Tierney in 1998, 1997, and 2000. And the Shaw offense, really a different look without Matt Keller and Trey Regas, who were so good a year ago. This year, they've got Wallace Lucas running the offense, and they've got a very good receiver in Taji Thomas to keep an eye on. 16 catches, 277 yards, but they've struggled to get their running game going. Leading rusher just 81 yards on the season, which is an indication that they've really struggled in that capacity, and you know they want to run the football if they possibly can, Rick.
That's something that both of these teams have in common, that they want to be able to run the football. Holy Cross, certainly because their wide receiver group is very inexperienced. That's part of the growth and development that they're having to work their way through as they go through the season. But Shaw as well, having to replace some just outstanding offensive people. And it's very interesting because both Scott Bainsfather and Eric Robato are defensive coaches. They grew up on the defensive side of the ball, playing defense and coaching defense. And early on in his career, Scott went over to the offensive side of the ball. I guess defensive coaches, they went over to the dark side of coaching offense. And he was the first one at Holy Cross, Coach Bainsfather, to put in the spread attack. He was way ahead of everybody else in that particular phase and did some things offensively that were well ahead of their time. And then Scott has stayed on the offensive side of the ball throughout. Eric would still much rather talk about defense than offense.
He really would. Sometimes he can't even identify those guys on offense.
I tried to make him talk about offense last night. It was like pulling teeth.
That's right. Offense, quarterbacks, no. The Holy Cross Tigers and the Shaw Eagles coming up when we return in just a moment. We'll hear from Tigers head coach Eric Robato. You are listening to Holy Cross Tigers football on WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com, and watching it at SportsNOLA.com. Ken Trahan and Holy Cross head coach Eric Robato. Eric, a district game, district opener, obviously carries significance. Last year you got off to a good start against Shaw. I know you're hoping that's what happens here tonight.
Yeah, when you're in a Catholic league, every game's hard to win. So if we can have some success tonight, it obviously could help us down the line with things.
Well, you had success last week, obviously, against Chalmette. And anytime you go into an opponent's backyard and they're significantly motivated and you come out with a victory, you have to be pleased.
Yeah, it was real. We had some adversity early in the year, so I was real pleased with how we responded over the past couple of weeks. The guys have been playing hard tremendously the entire time. Just we needed to find a little identity, especially on the offensive side of the football.
You've had to overcome adversity with the loss of Chandler, and you settled on Kramer, and he stepped in and did a nice job last week.
Yeah, he's a cool customer. I mean, he's played, he started for us on the defensive side of the ball for 2 years, so it's a guy that has seen the field. So he just kind of, transferred that over to the offensive side of the ball. Just, he's not going to get rattled. He's just one of these guys that's going to make the throws he has to make.
Kicking game, again, has been important for you. It was important last week, important for you in many situations last year. You stress that. It's something that benefits your team.
Every day. I mean, we have certain, and a lot of credit needs to go to my special teams coordinator, Lance Lacoste. He does a great job of working, but we're constantly repping things in its detail. It's watching film on it. We have, all kind of drills that we do to try to get us better at that.
And then Shaw, of course, they're well coached. Last year, the nightmare of dealing with Regas, dealing with a senior quarterback, those guys are gone, but still, you respect them, and I know you're concerned about it.
Oh, Coach Bain's probably one of the best coaches out there, so we know we're going to get a very good game, and they have very good skilled guys that can really hurt you. So we have to be very disciplined on the defensive side of the ball, have very solid run lanes, and tackle. That's what it comes down to. Offensively, we have to. Offensively, we just have to protect the football and, have positive things, positive drives.
Best of luck to you this evening.
Thank you again.
That's Eric Roboto, the head coach of the Holy Cross Tigers. Shaw has won the toss. They have deferred, and therefore Shaw will kick off, and Holy Cross will get the football first to get things started. Shaw will be in their road white jerseys, white pants, green numerals, green stripes, white helmets with the S on it. Holy Cross in their navy blue tops, white trim. And the Tigers with their navy blue helmets and the gold trim surrounding the white and blue on their uniform. And it's also Hall of Fame night for Holy Cross, and we'll get into that extensively here during the course of the evening as we take a break for our prayer, followed by the national anthem.
We wish that you provide the players with the strength to perform to the best of their abilities and give the coaches the knowledge to guide them. Please, Lord God, we ask of this in the name of your only Son, Jesus Christ, who was sent here to redeem us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem to be performed tonight by the Holy Cross Tiger Band under the direction of Mr. Michael Burchester.
Ken Trahan with Rick Gailey from Tad Gormley Stadium. The lights are on and football is ready to be played here tonight. And the skies are pretty clear. The temperature is 88 degrees and the wind is not discernible. The flag isn't even moving in the end zone, so no factor at all here this evening as we're just about set to go. It's the Catholic League opener for both teams. The Eagles trying to get on the board, so to speak. Shaw is 0-3, losing to East St. John 38-0. Lost by an identical score to Turlings Catholic, and then lost a very tough one last week to West Jefferson 25-20 in a game they led pretty much the whole night, but just couldn't finish in that game. So two teams clearly in search of an identity, trying to establish a winning edge. Holy Cross coming off of a victory and hoping to build on that here this evening. As mentioned, Shaw won the toss and they deferred, so they're going to kick off by choice. And so they will do so. Pat Leonard will kick off, and Shaw, as a result of their decision, is going to defend the north goal here at Tad Gormley Stadium. And Holy Cross will get the football first here, and the Tigers will drop a couple of receivers deep, and they will include number 1, Chase Rosano. And Rosano will be flanked on the opposite side by Leighton Johnson. So Rosano and Johnson deep. Leonard to kick it off. It's Holy Cross and Shaw from Tad Gormley Stadium. Whistle sounds. Ready to roll. Pat Leonard approaching the football, puts his right foot into it and hits a sideways pop-up kick, short fielded at the 25 up to the 30. Outside, 35-40, 45-50, speed of the 45-40 on the cut back to the 35. Broke a tackle, still on his feet to the 30 and inside the 30 and down to the 29-yard line with a brilliant return on a short kick for Holy Cross was number 12, Kim Wimberly, the outstanding wide receiver. But you don't see short kickoffs typically return that well, but this one was, and they're going to mark it at the Shaw 30-yard line. That's where Holy Cross will put it in play with a short field to get things started here tonight. The Tigers offense sure likes this, led by the senior quarterback Glenn Kramer as he takes him onto the field. We'll set the offense in a moment. From the 30-yard line of Shaw, off of the great return by Wimberly on 1st down and 10. Man in motion into the formation. And the run by Ashton Smith to the right side across the 30 and down to about the 27. So Smith, who's going to carry the ball most of the time for Holy Cross, gets about 3. It's going to be 2nd and 7. The Holy Cross offense, as mentioned, led by the quarterback Glenn Kramer, Ashton Smith, the running back, fullback Parker Lamarck, wide receivers Kim Wimberly, Albion 4, Landon Bates, Andrew Nora, the tight end Andrew Sakuna, and Merlin Seminary. Up front, Mason Boudreau, Austin Werland, Randall Amos, Christian Zabo, and Jack Tomedy. Mark it at the 28 for a gain of 2 officially, so it's 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers from the Shaw 28. Opening possession of the ball game. Officials slowed things down here for some reason. Shaw in their basic 4-man front. Single setback for Holy Cross. Under center this time is Kramer with a 3-receiver set. Takes the snaps, going to run Smith inside right. He's not going to get much to about the 26. He's bottled up at that point. A good job by the Shaw defensive front. Tyrone Miles making the stop. And it's going to be 3rd down. And they're going to mark this at the 27. So it's 3rd down and 7 after the gain of 1.
Ran the same play out of 2 different formations. The first one was out of shotgun with 4 wide receivers. The second one was from under the center with a tight end and 3 receivers, both of them inside zone, running between the right guard and right tackle.
So here's a conversion down 3rd and 7, and 4 receivers set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right, shotgun formation. Kramer the snap, wants to throw quickly in the slot. It's caught at the 25, fighting forward to about the 23, but that's all. And the ball hit the ground and came out, but I think he was down. The ball hit the ground and then it came out, so that's a good call. No fumble. Andrew Nora trying to stretch it out and get more. Was not going to get to the marker, but now a decision for Holy Cross. And on a 4th down and about 3 from the 23, might be 4-down range, Rick.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's too far really to have a really solid shot at a field goal, and you want to take some responsibility here and take some opportunity to gain some dominance. Nora got every inch that he possibly could out of that tunnel screen to the left-hand side. In fact, tried to stretch it a little, perhaps a little too much, and it almost came loose, but he had come down. But here we are with a 4th down.
And 3 from the 23. Open side, the right side of the field, twins to either side. Kramer shotgun. Takes the snap, retreats to throw. Has time. He's going to gun it deep, post corner, and it's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by the Eagles. Great play defensively, reading it all the way and making a nice over-the-shoulder catch as Greg Brooks for the pick for Shaw, and the Eagles have held.
Really great job by the secondary that time. Show pass right from the beginning. They tried to keep the corner short by running an outside hitch and then taking the inside receiver and running a deep corner to the back pylon. Tried to throw it over the top, but the corner to that side, to the right side of the offense, held his ground, and then broke back on the ball, intercepted it. For the touchback, it's out to the 20.
Shaw starts from its own 20 with 9:40 to play in the first quarter on first down. Going to run it inside and driven back after a yard or two, and that's all was the ball carrier. And away from the unpile there as we make sure we get the correct ball carrier identified for Shaw. And that was 28 Rayon McGrew, their leading rusher, 18 carries, 81 yards on the year. So McGrew is able to get forward to the 22, a gain of 2. It's second down and 8.
They come out running a similar play to Holy Cross's first 2 plays. Wasn't zone blocking, though. They were running power blocking, but also running it inside to the right between the right guard and right tackle.
Second and 8, Lucas in shotgun. Takes the snap, runs McGrew to the right. Nice cutback. He's got room at the 30, first down. And McGrew gets up to the 34. Well, they like to run that stretch play. They do that frequently and try to allow their running back a chance to read and make that one cut. McGrew read it, found the hole, gets the first down.
Really nice job of stretching the sweep out to the right side. Holy Cross was in good position maintaining their relationship, but the ball carrier did something that is very important in running outside plays like that. And this sweep play to the right, he stuck his outside foot in the ground, made a 90-degree cut, got his shoulder pads square to the goal line for a really nice game.
Kramer splits receivers to either side. Wide side is the left side of the field on first and 10 at the 34. And the whistle sound and the flag comes down. And had to be something to do with substitution, I would think. Pointing to the defensive side. They're going to say offside, so that had to be a lineup situation, Rick.
Absolutely, yes. Somebody lined up in the neutral zone. When the center has his hands on the football, both defensive and offensive lines and cornerbacks have got to stay on their side of the football. No one can lean over the neutral zone, which is defined as the
first penalty of the game. It's 5 yards on the Tigers, and it's 1st and 5. Shaw at the 39. Snap it, give to McGrew running left across the 40. Nice run, and he gets another first down up near the 45. So Rayon McGrew again with that one cut is able to find a little running room and gets a first down at the 44-yard line.
Does a really nice job of that, Ken. You could see him really stick that outside foot in the ground and make sharp cuts. That's the number one thing that a running back can do to make him effective, is the ability to plant your foot and make sharp cuts and get your shoulder pads squared to the line of scrimmage. There's some good movement by the left side of the Shaw Eagle offensive line led by Cameron Jackal, the left hand.
Who's their best by far. 1st and 10. Run it right side. McGrew this time is gobbled up and stopped cold. No gain. Great job by the Tiger defense this time around as he tried to make his cut. He had nowhere to go. And making the stop for Holy Cross was 52, Tyler Grubbs. And he's a freshman. What a future he has.
You're going to hear his name a lot. He can really play. And that was very solid that time. With the ball coming outside, I think McGrew might have gotten a little bit too wide before he made his cut, but very good defensive line play. Everybody maintaining their gap integrity.
Gave him one at 2nd and 9 at the 45. Lucas the snap. Going to run it right where McGrew's got room. He's at midfield. He's into Holy Cross territory. Broke a tackle, and then he's driven straight back as he gets to about the Holy Cross 47-yard line. Big hit, but a good run by McGrew. He's able to get about 7 yards on the play before he's driven back for the Tigers by Austin Shaw, the 6'2", 220-pound junior linebacker.
That time they got the inside of the Holy Cross defense really fooled and stuck in place inside, and there was not very much support on the outside to the left side of the Holy Cross defensive line. And Shaw's calling a timeout right now. There seemed to be some confusion, so they're going to bring everybody to the sideline and hash out this 3rd and 1.
Well, Rayon McGrew is not big. He's only 5'9", 150, and he's just a freshman. So you wonder about the stability to take the hits at that age and that size, but he's carried the ball on all 5 plays offensively for the Eagles at this point. We're going to play a 3rd down and a long 2 coming up here when play resumes. First time out taken by Shaw. They'll have 2 left. We have 6:47 to play in the first with no score. The Shaw offense, Lucas the quarterback, Thomas, Paul Snowden, Chris Gilmore, the wide receivers. Up front, it's Ronald Barba, Austin Billiard, Brennan Eden, Cole Regas, Cameron Jackal the best. Pete Taylor, who would normally quarterback, has a back issue, and he's not in tonight for Shaw. They're running the ball. And they're going to line up in a Wildcat formation with DeQuan Charles lining up at quarterback here on 3rd down and a long 2. Charles the snap. He fakes it, bumps into his running back, and he'll be stuffed. That was ugly from the start. The Tigers all over the ball. How did he do that? He bounced out of the pack, and he somehow gets down the field and gets a first down all the way to the 36. He was stopped cold.
Yeah, he was stuck in a pile. He faked to the running back coming across the formation, kept the ball inside. Holy Cross was in great shape there. Had the initial play completely stuffed out, but he kept his feet moving, and from out of seemingly nowhere, he popped out of the pile. That says a lot about his leg drive and determination.
And I think Shaw's taking another timeout.
They only have 10
on the field. So Scott Bainsfather's turning around saying, who is not in the game? So it's 2 timeouts taken by Shaw in their first possession of the quarter with 6:25 to play in the quarter with no score. So it begs this question. Are they going to take the hydration break anyway since Shaw's taken 2 timeouts already?
Yes, that's a good point. That's a very good question because it is mandated, even though we saw a crew the other night forget it at the 6-minute mark. But yes, even with the timeouts, they should take it. I'm not going to say they will. I'm not going to predict that, but it's still part of the.
All bets off the table, right?
Exactly.
You're not going there. Okay.
I'm taking neither credit nor blame for the officials.
Just checking. So it's going to be 1st and 10. Shaw at the Holy Cross 37-yard line. As play resumes, 3 first downs on this drive for the Eagles. And they go back to Wallace Lucas at quarterback with McGrew in the backfield with him. And a 4-receiver set as they open up the formation. Twins to either side of the field. Lucas shotgun. Will take the snap. Run it left with McGrew. He fumbles the ball. It's caught in the air by Holy Cross. And there he goes. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Tigers. Kenneth Carradine caught it in the air, and he returns it for a score. There is a flag down, however, at about the 37-yard line of the Eagles, and that probably would negate the score, but Carradine off of the fumble by McGrew.
That would, what a penalty that would be, because that was so far behind the play. Carradine was way out in front. He was the defensive end to the defensive right-hand side and contained the play, turned it back in. The ball got popped up in the air, and Carradine saw it right away, caught it in the air, and had a 10-yard head start on the posse, and no one got any closer. He took it all the way into the end zone. So if somebody did something behind the play, that would be the ultimate in silly penalty.
And we've got an enormously long conversation going on from the officiating crew here. Scott Bainsfather's getting an official to tell him what's going on. Eric Roboto the same. We haven't gotten an official signal yet. You got to believe it's on Holy Cross.
Right now, everybody's standing
Otherwise,
around.
they'd have waved it off.
That's right.
Or said declined. So we're still waiting after this discussion has taken a while. The Shaw defense looks like it's taking to the field, which means Holy Cross will have the ball. The turnover will stand. Carradine gets the fumble in midair.
Here we go.
Here we go. Personal foul, Holy Cross. 2 penalties on Holy Cross, it looks like.
And it looks like they're going to penalize it on the kickoff.
On the kickoff. So the play is going to stand. It's going to be a touchdown, Carradine, on what looked like a, let's see, that is a 62-yard return for a touchdown. And so the touchdown will stand. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff, apparently, and the extra point attempt for Holy Cross is forthcoming.
Yeah, what a turnaround that you've got third and short. You have to call a timeout because you don't have a running back in the game. And then you still would have had the opportunity to attempt a 4th down, even if you stopped short, because the play, even though they were running it behind their best offensive lineman, Cameron Jackal, a Tulane commit who we had on Prep Recruiting Insider just this past week. But Ball pops up in the air. What a rapid turnaround.
Here's Nolan Heitmeyer for the extra point attempt. Snap is good. Spot is good. The kick is high, and it is good. So a timeout on the field, 6 minutes, 11 seconds to play in the first quarter. Our score is Holy Cross 7, Shaw nothing. This is Holy Cross Tiger football on WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com, and watch it at SportsNOLA.com.
$95.
58.
Jetcare.com. Jetcare. Affordable care. Superior experience.
Correction on a penalty. Personal foul was against the Eagles. Sideline interference was called against the Tigers. Penalties offset. But I think a touchdown to
fumbled in midair, and a recovery by Kenneth Carradine returned 58 yards. That's 58 yards for a touchdown. And the extra point good by Heitmeyer makes it 7-0 Holy Cross. 6:11 to play in the first quarter. Holy Cross with their quick huddle and quick break. Again, special teams is a big plus for Holy Cross. They are really good in the kicking game, and you have got to be alert as the opponent at all times against the Tigers, as Trevor Termini will kick it off from 15 yards further back at his own 25 after the personal foul penalty. And the kick is going to sail down to the 25. It's fielded there. Upfield to the 30. Across the field to the 35. Looking for the cutback is Brooks. He reverses field again. I mean, he's going every which way but forward, and he's tackled at about the 34. So all in all, that's not bad for Holy Cross for Shaw to get it at the 34.
Yes, after a 15-yard penalty, having to kick off from your own 25-yard line. Very nice height on the kick. Also angled it to where it was right around where the numbers are. The top of the numbers in high school are 9 yards or from the sideline, just about halfway between the sideline and the hash mark. And instead of taking it straight up the field, the returner tried to take it to the wide side of the field. Holy Cross, excellent position. So overall at the 34-yard line, pretty good job by the Holy Cross special team.
Well, you just wonder if Shaw can throw the ball with its quarterback Pete Taylor out, and Lucas hadn't attempted a pass this year. They've run it on every play so far on 1st and 10 from the 34. Snap it. They're going to run it again with McGrew. Up the field for the 37. Has 3. Tackled there. And another good job defensively for Holy Cross. Once more, it's 52. Tyler Grubbs, as you mentioned, he'll be active all night. And McGrew gets to the 38 for 4 yards, and it's 2nd down and 6.
This time running the sweep play to the left-hand side, once again behind Jekyll, the excellent left tackle. And here is the answer to the trivia quiz, the first quarter trivia quiz. Yes, they are taking the hydration break at 5 minutes and 48 seconds.
So that's 3 stoppages in play already. So what are you going to do?
Exactly. Now and we talked about this the other night, Ken, that is by rule through September that they have to have at the middle of each quarter a break for hydration. But that can't continue beyond September if the officials deem it necessary because of heat and humidity being present. And right now, with the heat and humidity we had today, I would suspect that that's going to stay around for a little while. I've seen no relief in sight, my friend.
So it is 2nd and 6 for Shaw at its own 38-yard line. 5:48 to play in the first. Holy Cross up 7-0. Nightfall has arrived here in City Park. Lucas, shotgun. Snap it, fake it. He wants to throw a quickie and does. That's caught. That'll be a 1st down across the 45 and out to about the 48-yard line as he delivers that one on the money for a 1st down to Lonzel McCoy up to the 47, a gain of 9.
Very nicely designed play. A good, quick run fake inside. Then he pops up and the outside receiver comes and hooks up. between the corner and the outside linebacker. Inside receiver flares out to the flat, and the quarterback puts it right on the money. Beautifully executed, very well thought out play.
So a first down on the 9-yard reception by McCoy to the 47-yard line. And here's a give to McGrew running left. He gets to the corner. Look out, 50, 45. First down at the Holy Cross 40. Out of bounds at the Holy Cross 38-yard line. As McGrew found a lot of running room around the left side. Gets 15 yards and a first down. Very good job of attacking the perimeter of the Holy Cross defense. They allowed McGrew to get all the way to the outside and all the way out to the cornerback, as a matter of fact. So not a great job of securing the edge that time and getting force. And the sweep plays have had pretty good effectiveness so far. First down Eagles at the Holy Cross 38. Holy Cross has not run an offensive play in this game yet. They lead 7-0 at the Holy Cross 38. Here's Lucas. Snap it. Give it to McGrew inside right. He bangs hard to about the 36 and is driven back. So a short gain in the interior for McGrew. And it's going to be second down, and it looks like 9. They're going to mark it to the 37. Trying to run inside power again. Both teams are going to want to run the ball between the tackles, even though Shaw has had more success on the edges so far. They're going to do it in two different ways. Holy Cross is much more of a zone type of team, and Shaw is going to try to get some double teams and pull somebody through the hole in more of a power blocking type of scheme. Well, Shaw's definitely left-handed with Jekyll on the left side. They want to go that way. 2nd and 9. Right side, the big side of the field. Fake it. Wants to throw it. Does outside. It's caught in the backfield, but hit right away and dropped for maybe a yard gain on the reception for Shaw was Tazi Thomas. But a good job defensively for Holy Cross. Blue shirts surrounding the ball. Kyrie Currington was there. Good job by the Tigers. Yeah, that was the same pass pattern that they had completed earlier in the drive, where the outside receiver comes inside and posts up, so to speak, and the inside receiver runs a bubble route replacing the widest receiver. Now that time Lucas didn't just assume that they were going to cover the inside receiver and threw it to the bubble. That was beautifully covered by the cornerback. It's 3rd and 8 at the Holy Cross 36, and they go with a 3 receiver set to the left, 1 to the right. Snap it. Lucas under heavy pressure. Got it off over the middle. It's incomplete. Defended extremely well. Intended for Thomas and broken up by number 41, Austin Shaw, the junior linebacker, on the spot for the Tigers. And Shaw will go for it here, it would appear. A whole lot of pressure coming from the inside, really. Not a very good job of pass protection. And there was pressure on Lucas as soon as he caught the football. So he hung in there as long as he could. Tried to get it down the middle of the field, but Holy Cross had it got double covered, so had no chance at a completion. So it's 4th down and 8 yards to go from the Holy Cross 36. Shaw will go for it. Lucas in shotgun. Takes the snap, retreats to throw. 3-man rush, but he's got pressure. He's going to step up, and he fumbles the football, and it's recovered. And going back the other way and breaking it for Holy Cross. Can you believe this at the 30, 25, 20, 15, dragged down near the 10-yard line. On the recovery for the Tigers was number 26, Josh Gillard, and 2 big turnovers by Shaw and 2 huge returns by Holy Cross. Unreal. Very opportunistic, Holy Cross. When the ball's on the ground, they really attack it, and Joshua Gillard, as you mentioned, Ken, picked it up on the dead run, and it took a great effort by one of the Shaw offensive players to be able to run him down at the 10. It looks like they know what to do with the football on defense, Ken. They've only run 4 offensive plays after that long kickoff return in the very beginning of the game. Threw an interception, did make a first down, but their defense is racking up the yards. That's a 53-yard return to the 11-yard line of Shaw, and Holy Cross will run its first play on offense with 3:29 to play in the first quarter. And here's a run to the right side and breaking 1 tackle but going down. I said their first play, only the second time they've touched the ball, I should say. It's been a long time. It was 23. Landon Bates, and he doesn't get much. It was a long time between offensive snaps, Ken. Right. It was like a quarter. It was 3 timeouts and a hydration break between offensive snaps. Yeah, they had the ball first, obviously, did the Tigers. And
Good defense.
3 plays.
Good defense by Shaw that time. That was Holy Cross trying to run the sweep play out of the shotgun, and the Eagles did a great job of defending it.
2nd down and 9 at the 10 after the gain of 1. Kramer drops the snap, picks it up. Now he's in trouble rolling left. Looking, he's in deep trouble. Shook one tackle, and he's going to throw it as he goes down. It's going to be an incomplete pass. He just got it off, and it's incomplete. It would have been no gain anyway, but he got rid of it just as he was being tackled. So the pass falls incomplete, and it's 3rd down and 9.
There was a lot of action for an incomplete pass. Ball gets dropped on the ground right off the snap. He was under the center with a tight end, a wing back to the right, and 2 wide receivers. But then he picked up the ball, made a quick run fake, and on his bootleg, away from the run fake to the left, actually had a tight end wide open, crossing the middle of the field because the fumble actually threw the Shaw defense off as well. But because the timing of the play was off, he wasn't able to look at the crossing pattern of the tight end.
3rd and 9 from the 10. Fullback Lamarck splits wide left, twin receivers right. Here's Kramer looking to throw. It's a little screen pass to Smith. Inside at the 10. He shook a tackle and gets down to about the 5, and a flag comes down. I think that could be a face mask, which would be huge. Smith caught the pass. A defender reached to try to tackle him. Might have gotten part of the face mask, or was it holding? We'll see. Personal foul face mask, that's what I thought. And that's going to kill Shaw, as they had him stop, but not now.
That's going to give him a first down. It becomes half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down. So a nice break for Holy Cross.
As Holy Cross gets its first down of the game on penalty, and they'll have a 1st and goal from the 3 after the 4-yard completion to Smith. The 3-yard penalty is the first on Shaw, but it's a huge one. So Shaw mistakes just killing them. 2 turnovers in as many possessions, and now a big penalty to give Holy Cross 1st and goal at the 3. 2:15 to play in the first quarter. Holy Cross up 7-0 and looking to add to that. Kramer shotgun with twin receivers to either side, but it's a tight formation. Takes the snap, wants to throw. Steps up, he can run. Going left to the 5 and tackled there for a loss. Great play. Firing up from the secondary for the Eagles was number 21, Daquan Charles. And I mean firing up. He hits him for a 3-yard loss.
Good reaction by the Eagle defense because it certainly looked like there was room to run. As you mentioned, Ken, it was a compressed formation between and they did not get a first down.
They did not get a first down, so it's 4th down. Thought they had the first. They did not give him the first down on by penalty. So that's right. It would not have given it to him by yardage. So it's 4th down. It's a field goal situation from the 13-yard line. I just assumed it was with the personal foul.
Yeah, with the personal foul, yes.
So here's the field goal attempt from 23 yards by Heitmeyer. Severe angle left. Good snap, good spot. Angles it nicely, and Heitmeyer knocks it through. And with 1:13 to play in the first quarter, it's now Holy Cross 10 and Shaw nothing. A 23-yard field goal by Nolan Heitmeyer.
And the other thing that threw us off, Ken, is that they the down marker had first down.
It did.
Listed on it.
Correct.
The
It's had it the whole
first
time.
down.
That's right.
So there we go. We trust in the down marker. What's the matter with us? But an excellent, very good operation, snap, hold, and kick there. But going back to the what became the 3rd down play, compressed formations are very popular now. And they had a wing back, a slot back, and a split end to both sides, but both of them were in tight slot formations. So that usually indicates you're going to make some type of outward breaking routes from there, and that's exactly what they were trying to do. Looked like the Shaw Eagle defense really got spread out in the middle, and the quarterback was attacking it. Kramer looked like he had an opportunity, but the Shaw Eagle defense did a great job of reacting and throwing him for a loss, as a matter of fact. So great reaction by the defense, but a beautiful place-kicking operation for the field goal.
10-0 Tigers with 1:13 to play in the first. And here's Trevor Termini to kick it off. Twin receivers deep for Shaw, including Greg Brooks, who returned the last one. And he's going to get it again, this time from his 12. Brooks to the 15-20. Running left, 25-30, breaks it. 35-40 with speed. He's at midfield. Foot race, cut back at the 40. 35, he'll be dragged down there. Good job to save it on the back end for Holy Cross, as Brooks had really found free space. Tackled by Chase Rosano, and he saved a touchdown.
Absolutely. That's what a safety is supposed to do. A nice high kick, even though it was short. The coverage team was in good shape, but were able to find a nice hole in the coverage team. And as you mentioned, Chase Rosano was able to keep the ball carrier in front of him and keep it out of the end zone, gave the posse a chance to catch up to him. But here we have the Shaw Eagles back in business at the 33-yard line.
It's a 55-yard kickoff return by Greg Brooks to put Shaw back in business at the Holy Cross 33 with 1 minute and 1 second to play in the first quarter. And they give to McGrew. He's in trouble in the backfield. He's down. Might have tasted the line of scrimmage, but he had nowhere to go. As Holy Cross got great penetration. 52, Tyler Grubbs again, along with Austin Shaw. Boy, Grubbs really impressive. No gain at 2nd and 10.
That was beautifully done that time. Great job of what I call gap integrity by the Holy Cross defense. Everybody maintaining their position and skating along with the outside play. No two colors following each other, so there was no place not only to get around the defense, but there was no place to be able to cut it back either. So very good coordination by the Holy Cross defense.
Looks like Taji Thomas has to come out of the game for Shaw. Might be an equipment problem. That's what it is.
That's what it looks like.
So they lose their biggest threat for the time being. Scott Bain's father frustrated, had to put somebody else back in. 2nd down and 10 from the 33. Clock ticking down toward 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. 10-0 Holy Cross. Receivers split to either side. Lucas shotgun. And they give inside to McGrew. He's got nowhere to go. Going to be stopped by the blue shirts. And again, wrestling him to the ground is number 41, Austin Shaw, who's had a big first quarter.
He keeps showing up play after play. And McGrew shows how tough he is as a ball carrier. He doesn't go down very easily.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. With our score, Holy Cross 10 and Shaw nothing. Back with our second quarter in a moment. And this is Holy Cross football on WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com, and watching it at SportsNOLA.com. Ken Trahan, Rick Gailey. It's 10-0 Holy Cross over Shaw. And the Eagles play at 3rd and 9 at the Holy Cross 32-yard line. And they'll go with a 4-receiver set. Both teams playing with backup quarterbacks in this game. Not what you really want in your district opener, but necessity because of injuries. Faking it. Lucas wants to throw it, floats it down the field, and misses his receiver. Incomplete, intended for Thomas. Holy Cross had a couple of blue shirts in the area there. Would have taken a perfect throw. It was not, and it's 4th and 9.
That's a good way of describing it, Ken. A very nice run fake inside. Receiver streaking up the hash mark, trying to catch a seam route, trying to suck the safeties up with the run fake and throw it beyond him. He got a little bit past him, but as you mentioned, he had to drop it in the bucket, and he was not equipped to do that.
4th and 9 at the 32. Eagles will go for it again. Twin receivers to either side. 3-man front defensively. Fake to McGrew. Lucas wants to throw. He's going to decide the run. He doesn't have any room. He can't do that. And he's out of bounds, and that'll give the ball to Holy Cross. That's just not a good decision by a young man that's not used to being back there.
That's exactly right. Didn't have the necessary opportunity to run for a first down. Didn't give his team a chance that time. A run fake, and had time initially in the pocket, but then what you need to do is be able to scramble, preferably to the wide side of the field where you give your receivers room to be able to maneuver against the defense. But the Tigers kept themselves in very good shape in the secondary and forced him to run out of bounds. So didn't give his team all the opportunity that he needed to, but Lucas will learn from that.
So Holy Cross gets it over on downs at 11:47 to play in the second quarter. At their own 29-yard line are the Tigers. Kramer will run Smith inside right. He's got a hole. He explodes. 40, 45, 50. Smith to the races. 30, 25. He's gone. Ashton Smith to the house. Touchdown Tigers. 71 yards. And Holy Cross takes a commanding 16-0 lead.
Beautifully blocked play inside. There was some penetration from the left side of the Holy Cross offensive line, but Ashton Smith was able to find a seam to the right side of the defense on an inside zone type of play. Didn't need much room to get through because once he hit it, he was hitting it full speed ahead, taking a direct route to the goal line. So beautifully executed by the right side of the Holy Cross offensive line. And once he had the opportunity, Ashton Smith just was not going to be caught.
Extra point attempt forthcoming by Nolan Heitmeyer. Out of the hold of Kramer. Good snap, good spot. The kick is up, and it is good. Timeout on the field, 11:36 to play in the half. It's now Holy Cross 17, Shaw nothing. Back in a moment. This is Holy Cross Tiger football on WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com, and watching it at SportsNOLA.com. $17-0, and once he got space, Rick, he showed elite speed.
He certainly did, because there were a couple defensive backs that actually had an angle, but he outran the angle, knows where the goal line is, hit it running downhill. Just an outstanding run. And as you mentioned, Ken, just great speed running away from the secondary. Here the ball is being teed up on the left hash mark, usually indicating they're going to try to pin because there's four coverage guys to his left.
It has a pooch kick left side toward the sideline, bouncing and still on the field. Who's got it? Scramble for the ball, and the answer is Shaw. At the 45, boy, there's a great attempt by the Tigers. Again, their kicking game, they do everything. They are tough to play against. You have got to be alert at all times against Holy Cross and Lance Lacoste special teams. They nearly came up with that one. But up 17-0, it's a good gamble against Shaw with the backup quarterback.
That's exactly right. You're telling your defense, even if they get it, we don't mind giving them a shorter field that you can stop them. You could handle them. Something Holy Cross does, they not only do a lot of things, but they practice the specifics. There's a lot of attention to detail and the fundamentals in the kicking game as well. That was a beautifully executed surprise onside pooch kick, but Shaw was alert to it.
Eagles at their own 45, and they're going to run a DeQuan Charles out of Wildcat formation to the short side. Ran through one tackle, but steps out of bounds after a gain of about 3. So DeQuan Charles with a direct snap. And we're going to see a lot of that tonight in the absence of Pete Taylor, their quarterback. Second time we've seen him line up in Wildcat and take the snap directly. And this time he runs it for 4 yards to the 49, and it's second down and 6.
They're going to have to spread that responsibility out a lot, Ken, between several people and not just depend on one person at the quarterback position. Try to take advantage of all the talent that you have available to you. That was just a old single wing power sweep, but it was into the boundary and there wasn't enough room.
2nd down and 6. Charles once again lines up in Wildcat. Double left wing, strong left formation. Going to run it straight up the middle. He finds a little bit of a gap. He'll get a 1st down as he drives hard across the Holy Cross 45 to the 43. And a 1st down on a gain of 8 for Charles.
Looking like a single wing type of formation where you've got the tailback and the fullback. Back in the day is what they call those two. But you had two running backs in effect next to each other in the backfield, and you had a wing back or a blocking back right in front of them as well. Fake the sweep to the right-hand side and run a power play back to the inside. Very sound play, as old as football, a power running play inside.
1st and 10 Eagles at the Holy Cross 43. They've snapped the ball a lot in Holy Cross territory, but have nothing to show for it. Double wing formation, shotgun. Charles a direct snap again, and this time flags come down and Charles is buried for a loss. That time that play was messed up from the start for Shaw. Not a good, they wanted to run the read and there was no mesh and there was penetration, and he's tackled for a loss to the 46, and there is a flag on the play.
This might be a formation violation of not having enough people on the line of scrimmage.
Holy Cross would turn that down.
And that's what
procedure
they
on Shaw, and on a loss of 3, they're going to turn it down at 2nd and 13.
Exactly. Take the loss of down along with the loss of yardage. Very good defense on the left side of the Holy Cross.
No, they've actually taken the penalty. They accepted the penalty, which surprises me. So they took the penalty, and it's 1st and 15.
Okay.
Unless they blew it dead, Rick.
Well, but they didn't. No, and that's what Eric is trying to get an explanation.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that you would accept that penalty on a loss of 3.
Exactly. They're going to go back and correct it. Yeah.
Now he's saying decline it, so they'll put it back to the 46.
Right. No. Yeah, I think there was a misunderstanding there as to what type of illegal procedure it really was. Mm-hmm. That it wasn't a false start, because it's the same official signal for illegal procedure or false start.
Right.
False start, you can decline it, but but you usually automatically accept it, and that's what they're trying to make sure they iron out. It should be 2nd and 13.
I mean, it's taking a long time to sort it out. The line of scrimmage should be the 46. Eric Robato's telling him we tackled him back at the 46. Why is it back at the original line of scrimmage?
Right, exactly.
I mean, it's either 1st and 15 or it's 2nd and 13.
Yes.
It's that simple.
Exactly.
And Eric Robato's pleading his case, saying, guys, come on. Somebody had the spot, didn't they? We did.
Yeah.
He was tackled to the 46.
And they're still talking.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So now the referee's coming over towards Scott Bain's father, and they might make him take the penalty after all. They will. I mean, so they have to accept the penalty, apparently, even though Eric Robato didn't want to. I have no idea why.
That's really not. There's a lot of discussions going on, and from both sides, but both coaches are a bit disturbed that there's a lot of discussions but not much communication going on. It was not very well described, I believe, to Coach Robato what the illegal procedure penalty really
let me ask you this as a coach. If a player, a captain, say, accepted it, and then the coach says, no, we don't want it.
It could be corrected.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm just
certainly can.
Okay, so I really don't understand it.
They lost the spot, and so they said, well, you either take it back at the original line of scrimmage or the penalty.
1st and 15 from the 48 of Holy Cross. Run it left, and McGrew is smothered. Just ripped down by the Tiger defenders up front, and right there for Holy Cross was 52, Tyler Grubbs yet again. What a young player he is, and what a good player he is.
Absolutely. He's just really been active. The linebacking play by Holy Cross so far tonight has just been outstanding. They're doing a good job of getting what we call a run fit. The defensive linemen take up certain gaps and try to squeeze one gap while they're taking another, and the linebackers have got to fit over the off of the action of the defensive linemen, and the linebackers so far have been exceptional.
2nd and 15 at the Holy Cross 48. Snap it. Lucas wants to throw it. Gets it off deep down the field and incomplete just over the outstretched hands of his intended receiver, McCoy. And Lucas got dumped as he threw the ball by Austin Shaw. I mean, we just keep calling McGrew and Shaw's names over and over again.
That's right. They are it's remarkable the activity that they're getting out of those two. That time Holy Cross went with a 3-man front with 3 linebackers and 5 defensive backs in long yards, a 3-3 nickel look, and Shaw trying to take a shot deep down the field. But even with the 3-man front bringing 1 linebacker, we're able to get pressure. Lucas hung in there really well to get the ball down the field.
Trip set right, single receiver left, 3rd down and 15 from the Holy Cross 48. Lucas in shotgun. Takes the snap. In the pocket, steps up. Now rolls left. Looking. He'll decide to run, and he's not going anywhere. Dragged down by Mikey Ricks at about the 47-yard line. Great job of pursuing from his nose spot. Mikey Ricks just hustled down the quarterback and drags him down for a short gain of 2.
Really good job by Ricks putting initial pressure on from right over the center and trying to put pressure from on the quarterback from there, and then pursuing with a great pursuit angle, running down the quarterback on the boundary. Great effort by Ricks.
So despite the good field position, Shaw can do nothing. They'll have to punt it away. Dropping deep is Rosado to receive the punt. Leonard will punt for Shaw. Leonard stands at his 40. He rolls right and he punts it end over end, bouncing at about the 32 and down there. So a short punt. And Holy Cross will get it back at its own 32 with 8:17 to play in the first half. In control, 17-0 over Shaw.
Trying a rugby type of punt, sprinting to the right-hand side with the 3-man wall. They're going to try to upset the Holy Cross punt rush because, as we've talked about earlier, Holy Cross blocks as many kicks as anybody, I think, in the state can. And it's once again, it's not just the scheme that they do, but they actually practice the individual fundamentals of takeoff and stance and alignment, getting yourself skinny, and how to block kicks. They really practice those individual fundamentals as well.
1st and 10 from the 32, wide side, right side of the field. Lamarck motions left, the fullback slot's there. And a play fake here. Kramer wants to throw, heaves it down the field. Jump ball coming, and it is caught and now stripped away. And this is going to be a catch and a fumble, I think. And we'll wait and see. Holy Cross ends up with the ball. And I think they ruled it a catch and a fumble, so it's going to be a good catch. Down to the Shaw 48, and the catch was made by number 12, Kim Wimberly. And that's a first down for Holy Cross to the Shaw 48, a gain of 20.
Now they're going to discuss whether he caught it or not.
Oh,
That's
boy.
it.
I mean, it's either a catch or it's not, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You know, did the ball wind up on the ground? Did he actually catch the ball? And they're ruling it. Yep. Whichever way it got there, the ball's where it's at now.
20-yard completion to Wimberly and a first down to the Shaw 48. And now they're stopping play again. And Scott Bainfather screaming. He said, that's not a completed pass. You don't have replay in high school. We have it at SportsNOLA.com. Unfortunately, they don't have the benefit of it. They're saying he caught it, got stripped, but then Wimberly is the one who came up with the ball. So he did a good job to get back on it. The question was, did he have the ball long enough? And
I'm trying to check with our replay official
yes.
here. He's giving me a blank look.
He's saying it was incomplete. So that's what the replay's showing here.
There we go.
So it might have been a break for the Tigers here. They get the 20-yard completion and a first down to the Shaw 48-yard line. Only the second first down for the Tigers. The first one was the 71-yard touchdown run. Shotgun. Kramer, man in motion right. Running inside Smith. He's got a big hole again. He's off to the races. 30. Oh, and he's tripped up and dropped just inside the 30 at the 29. Nearly busted another one. Big hole inside. And a first down on the 19-yard run by Ashton Smith.
He can really run, talking about Ashton Smith, that inside zone, because that time it was a little different than the one he broke for the 71-yard touchdown. They lined up at 4 wide receivers, brought one across in fast motion, faked the sweep to him, and then handed the ball off inside to Smith on the inside zone, and he broke it into the secondary.
1st and 10 at the Shaw 29. Kramer under center takes the snap. Going to run it inside right with Smith. Bounced off one and gets down to the 26-yard line. They He picks up a couple on the play, tackled by Brock Davis. A gain of 3.
And we got a flag behind the play. They have an offensive holding penalty on the Tigers,
which will negate this. Gain of 3. Instead, it'll be a 10-yard penalty walked off. It'll mark it back at the 39-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 20.
And that was called by the referee. The referee is the official that's behind the offense in high school with the white hat, or the white hat as we call it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was called from behind the play. Usually happens when somebody is going down and they reach and grab the ankles of one of the defenders.
1st and 20, Tigers at the Shaw 39. Kramer will line him up under center. Mark slots right, and they run a counter play left. Nice hole there at the 35 of the 30 to the 25. Still in bounds and out of bounds near the 22. With a very good run for Holy Cross was Landon Bates. So Bates gets a huge chunk here down to the 21-yard line. That's a gain of 18. It's 2nd and 2.
Well executed counter play. First you bring short motion by the slot back from the left side to the right side to try to direct the defense in that position. Then you start in that direction, getting the defense flowing, and then cut back in the other direction and pulling a guard and then bringing that slot back through to wall off. So a beautiful power counter to the left side by the Holy Cross Tigers.
2nd and a short 2 at the 21. Bates still the tailback. He'll get a power pitch right. Bates looks for the cutback. He's going to fight forward close to the first down. He gets just inside the 20, but there's another flag down on the perimeter. And you know what that usually means.
Yeah, somebody trying to secure the edge, getting an extra handful of Shaw Eagle jersey, so that's going to back it up 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
So this is going backwards. We'll end up at the 30-yard line. So it's a 1-yard gain officially for Bates to the 20, and then the 10-yard holding call.
Holy Cross was able to make up for that on the last set of downs, running the counter play. So let's see what they do here now as we have a 2nd and long.
4th penalty, 40 yards on the Tigers. A 1-yard run and then a 10-yard penalty, and it's back at the 30, and it's 2nd down and 11. Motion left, Bates, fake it, Kramer. Steps up, rolls right, looking, short side of the field, he'll run. He's at the 25 and ducks out of bounds on the Shaw side of the field, right at the 25-yard line for a gain of 5.
That was an interesting looking play because the receivers were down the field blocking the whole time. That time you had the running back and the slot motion back on the same side. Fake to the left side, then looked down the field as if he was going to pass and kept the ball on the right side. So a very complex play.
I believe we get the hydration timeout here, so it looks like. 6:03 to play, that's what's happening.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
So at 6:03 to play in the half, we get the hydration break or water break, or call it what you may. And as we've talked about, this is usually discontinued in October. With the weather the way it is, I wonder if that will be the case.
Yep, that's going to be, I think if they're wise, that they'll keep it up for until the weather turns. It should turn dramatically in my estimation because it doesn't lengthen the game very much, and it's something you can point to in the player's best interest.
Well, we do see advanced forecasts next week where the thermometer actually dips under 90 for the first time for a high, like 89, 88. Wow, it's progress, huh?
I think I might go jogging.
You might go jogging.
I think I'll go for a walk.
I hear you, man.
Because every now and then in the mornings, early in the mornings, you kind of get a little bit of coolness, but that wears away very, very quickly. It's still summertime, obviously, right now. And the last 30 days, what a difficult weather-wise period of 4 weeks that has been, between either raining and the temperature is bearable. If it's not raining, it's unbearable.
By the way, 10:30 to play in the game. Auburn 15, LSU 13. Holy Cross with a 3rd down and 6 from the 25-yard line. Kramer the snap. Straight drop, looks to throw, now rolls left, could run. Looking. Now he's going to have to run, and he'll get the first down and more. Good decision. And out of bounds is Kramer near the Shaw 16-yard line with a first down for the Tigers. So they overcome the holding penalties again.
Very, very well done with that. Got the defense spread out in a drop-back pass situation. The pass rush allowed him to get outside and took advantage of the situation and got past the stick. So have overcome 2 holding penalties in this particular drive.
And a 1st and 10 at the Shaw 16 with 5:54 to play in the half. 17-0 Tigers, who are threatening. Smith back in the game at tailback. And he'll get the ball inside right across the 15 and drag down at about the 14-yard line. Able to get a couple of yards on the play. And tackle for Shaw by number 92, Perry Millsap, the big 280-pound junior. 2nd and 8.
Holy Cross is trying to give the Eagle defense a lot of different personnel groupings to look at. That time they had 3 tight ends and only 1 wide receiver, 1 running back. We'd normally call that 13 personnel, 1 back and 3 tight ends. And here it is
2nd
again.
and 8 from the 14. Wide side, right side of the field. Fullback slotted right. And they're going to run it inside right again with Smith. Fighting hard to the 11, to the 10. Still trugging hard to about the 9. Just pumping those knees, and he fought for yards after contact and picks up 5.
Very, very hard running. And a nice surge by the offensive line. They're starting to gain some confidence as an offensive line group, and they're really starting to push the Eagle front.
And that gives Smith 6 carries for 100 yards and a touchdown. So he's at the 100-yard mark already, and it's 3rd down. And a short 3 from the 9-yard line.
Lots of big plays so far. Two defensively and obviously 1 offensively. This is the first semblance of some type of drive by the Tigers.
Holy Cross may take time out here. They're just letting the play clock run down. This is intentional, as they're just watching, and they'll call timeout with the play clock down to 1. Stopping the clock with 4:17 left. Tigers at the Shaw 9-yard line with a 3rd and a short 3. They need the 6. Oh, and the tip of the football might be just ahead of the 9. So big situation coming here.
And this is a type of drive Holy Cross wants to finish off because they have not been consistent offensively. 71-yard touchdown run was their first down of the night, as I remember, Ken.
Right.
So they have, but they've lived on long returns by the defense and a 71-yard run, and they'd like to show and establish that they can have some consistent execution and be able to drive the ball down the field when they want to. So here on this 3rd down play, 3rd and 2-ish, they'd like to finish this off.
I like that. That's a new numeral, 2-ish.
Yes, it's not quite 2, not quite 3, 2-ish.
Is that the Tuish? Would that be? I'm just trying to interpret.
TWOISH.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Or TUEWISH. TUEY, Tui. Tui-ish.
This conversation is disintegrating quickly. Let's get back to football. 3rd down and
please.
A short 3 from the 9. Smith behind Kramer. Receivers to either side. Shaw on a 50 front. Kramer takes the snap, wants to throw it. Pump fake, he throws, jump ball coming back in the end zone and broken up at the last moment. Incomplete. It was intended for Wimberley, and a nice play defensively by Ryan Tax, who got it out of there at the last possible moment.
There's a flag down.
This is near the line of scrimmage, which usually means on the offense. And if you're Shaw, you probably have to take it, even though it's 4th and 2, to move them back. Especially if it's of the 10 or 15-yard variety, and it is a holding call on Holy Cross, the 3rd holding call they've had in this possession. They've overcome the other 2. That's 5 penalties, 50 yards on the Tigers.
Yeah, I think they actually called a personal foul penalty.
That's 15 yards, personal foul. That's even bigger.
Yeah, even though you stop them there, you have to go ahead and take the penalty, get them out of field goal range. You hate giving them another down. to be able to take a shot at the end zone. That was a pretty interesting call there, and out and up on 3rd and 2 inside in the
with
red
a short
zone.
field.
Yes, that was pretty unusual.
Now it's back to the 23-yard line where it's 3rd and 17. Holy Cross does get a free down as a result of the penalty. Let's see if they can take advantage. Kramer going to run an end around on a pitch to Bates running left. Bates trying to cut back is contained. He's going to get short yardage, and a good job by the Eagles to pursue. Landon Bates is tackled at the 17-yard line, so he picks up 7, but nowhere near enough for the first down.
Pretty well set up play with the strong action to the right side of the offense and then running the reverse back to the other side. It looked like they had something going, but great reaction out of the secondary by the Eagles to close on the ball carrier quickly and keep it to a pretty short game.
Holy Cross goes over to the sideline to huddle with their coach, even though the clock is running here. They may just let it run down and call a timeout again. From this vantage point and from this spot on the field, you're talking about a 34-yard field goal attempt. Heitmeyer would appear to have the leg to try that. He's looked good thus far, and it looks like he's coming on. He will try one, but he's going to do it after a timeout here. Holy Cross is going to take the timeout again with 1 on the play clock and 2:57 on the gamer. So a timeout taken by Holy Cross is their second of the half with 2:57 to play and a 17-0 Tigers lead.
That's a pretty wise choice to use as much of the clock while you have some control over it. You perhaps would like to save the timeouts for late in the half, even though we have the clock that's flickering back and forth between there's a 2:57 and then some seconds start popping up, so the clock is really going kind of silly right now, but there is 2:57 left. You'd like to perhaps save that timeout, but use as much time off the clock as possible while you still have control over it.
Sure.
This will be from the left
hash mark again. That's where he made the field goal earlier. So obviously comfortable with the angle. 34-yard attempt by Heitmeyer. And he has knocked it through. So Heitmeyer converts from 34 yards out. The Holy Cross kicking game pays dividends again. And a timeout on the field will keep it here with 2:50 to play in the half. And Holy Cross now leads it 20-0 over Shaw.
Beautiful operation there. They snap, hold, and kick. A very, very solid, great time, but just a terrific protection. Just everything about their place kicking operation, both in extra points and the 2 field goals that he has hit so far, has just been outstanding. So the hard work of Holy Cross, not only in putting schemes together, but in the execution of their kicking game, certainly has paid off.
10-play drive, 51 yards. And it took 5 minutes and 27 seconds. And Heitmeyer with a 34-yard field goal to make it 20-0 with 2:50 to play in the half.
I think as we watch going forward, Holy Cross is going to really be concerned with trying to finish off some of these drives. There's no way that you can go into the rest of the Catholic League schedule and not have confidence that you could finish drives when you need to finish it. Big plays are nice, and you certainly want that to be in your arsenal. But the ability to consistently move the football is going to be what makes you successful in the Catholic League.
And an onside kick, and who's got it? Holy Cross thinks they have it.
And they do.
And they do. Another kicking game play by Holy Cross, and coming up with the football, who else? Austin Shaw. He's done everything else. So again, if you are sleeping against this team, you will pay a hefty price. They are the best all-around kicking game, Curtis included, that I've seen the last couple of years. Last year they blocked 7 kicks, and here they are this year making play after play in the kicking game, and a big onside kick recovery for Holy Cross gives them the ball at the Shaw 47 with 2:46 to play in the half.
They kick a hard line drive type of kick that hits one of the up men of the Shaw Eagles. It bounces backwards, and the rush is right there to fall on it.
So another chance for Holy Cross to extend the lead here. On first down. Run it right side. Smith, nice cutback. Tripped up as he crosses the 45 and dives to the 44 for a gain of 3. Remember, they have one timeout left.
Exactly. The right side of the Holy Cross offensive line did a nice job with their down blocks that time, running the counter play. One hand was able to reach out of the pile and trip him up. It looked like it was set up for a bigger play than that. On that onside kick recovery, usually you try not to have somebody right in front of the football just to prevent that, but they picked on somebody in the front and ricocheted right off of him.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Clock running, 2:10 to play in the half at the Shaw 44. And a play fake. Kramer sold it pretty good. Has time. Throws down the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Wimberly, and a flag comes down late. Wimberly wanted the flag, and he got it from the official in the deep. Greg Brooks defending. And that's going to be 15 against Shaw, and another first down for the Tigers.
Pretty good break on the ball in the secondary by Brooks. But the official obviously thought that he got there a little bit too soon, especially perhaps with his offside hand and knocking the ball down. May have gotten it on the receiver, but timing-wise was a pretty good break on the football. Pretty good shot down the field, running a deep in pattern. Very nice job by Kramer after the play fake, getting his feet up under him. He's got an arm, a pretty good arm, Ken. The ball comes out with some good revolution. It's just going to be a matter of him getting his timing and his accuracy.
15 yards, first down at the Shaw 29 with 2:01 to play in the half. Pistol formation. Going to throw a quick bubble screen right side. It's eaten up. A loss of a yard on the play. On the completion to Bates, no chance.
Excellent break on the ball by DeQuan Charles, the safety for the Shaw Eagles. He saw it coming right off the bat and flew up and avoided the blocks in front of the ball carrier, receiver, and made a sure tackle. So an excellent reaction that time by DeQuan Charles.
So it's second down and 11 from the 30-yard line. 1:28 and counting here in the half. Kramer in shotgun with the 3 receivers set left, a single right. Retreats to throw, steps up, throws left, and it is going to be caught. Nice throw and catch. Wimberly inside the 20, fights for the first down. It might have it at about the 18-yard line. Boy, Wimberly's a good target, a good athlete, and fights after the catch.
He's somebody that's very important to the Tiger receiving corps. He was the only one coming into action this year who had some varsity experience. They had a great group of receivers last year, but they all graduated. So Wimberly is an important cog in this because of his experience. Does a good job of getting his hands away from his body and catching the ball in his hands, and was also able to land out of bounds, which stopped the clock after getting the first down.
To the Shaw 18, 1st and 10 from that point with 1:13 to play in the half. Quick snap, Kramer looks left, looking, throwing, and he bounced it incomplete. Had an open receiver at about the 10, but the ball was short, intended for Andrew Nora. Stops the clock with 1:08 to play in the half.
Kramer never really got his feet timed up with his arm. He looked outside first and then had to reset his feet and get himself realigned to come back to the inside. Had a 3-layer route to that side, a deep, an intermediate, and a short. He came off the short when he looked there first and then tried to come back to the intermediate, but he was way off of his platform and the ball was short.
2nd and 10 from the 18 with 1:08 to play in the half. Kramer again in shotgun. Takes the snap. No rush. Pump fakes. He's going to pump deep for the end zone for Wimberly. Jump ball out of the end zone. Incomplete. He caught it, but he was well off of the playing field. Incomplete. And it's going to be 3rd down. It stops the clock with 1:02 to play in the half.
An excellent catch, even though it was out of bounds, was able to elevate and get his hands up over his head. We talked about how he caught the ball well in his hands just 2 plays ago. Showed another great example of that. But the Shaw secondary, and that's what you would expect from a Scott Bain's father-led team, the secondary really is very fundamental in their technique, and that time was able to force a receiver up against the boundary. So
it's 3rd down from the 18-yard line. Back to pass. Going to run a draw play with Smith. Broke a tackle at the 15. Fights hard to about the 12. Short of a first down. That's going to be 4th down, and the clock runs. See if Holy Cross uses a timeout or not. They have one left.
Yes, indeed. They should let the clock run down as far as they can, and then we get to see a field goal attempt perhaps by Heitmeyer from the right hash. See if he's as effective on the right hash.
4th and 4. And that's what Holy Cross looks like they're doing. They're taking their time here, letting the clock run down. There's about a 15-second differential between the game clock and the play clock, so they'll let it run down to about 16 and take time out here. And then, as Rick mentioned, likely send Heitmeyer on once more. He's already made 2. And there's the timeout, which, well, how could it be 15? If it's 15, then the play clock would be expired, but they let it run down. Somehow they're not synced. That's all I'm saying. I can add.
It's fractions.
There are many things I can't do, but I can add.
There you go. You can get that. It's that moving math where you have 2 clocks moving and you're doing the math at the same time. And you're exactly right. It must have something to do with the rounding off of fractions of seconds.
I'd have to consult.
I think that they would just lay calling.
My many math teachers on that one. I don't know.
Yeah, because that was impressive. Once again, having to look at 2 clocks and then being able to do the math while it's moving, it was impressive.
It will be Nolan Heitmeyer, who's 2 for 2 already. This time from the right hash mark. He's shown he can do it from the left. Now he gets a shot from the right hash mark. This will be a 29-yard attempt. Kramer, the holder, trying to extend a 20-0 lead. Snap good. Kick is on the way. Hit it nice. And Heitmeyer has driven it through again. How about this Holy Cross kicking game? It is something to behold. And with 8 seconds left in the first half, Holy Cross now has a 23-0 lead on the 29-yard field goal by Heitmeyer.
Yeah, once again, beautifully done. Just the entire operation of it. Snap, set, the timing of the kick, no hesitation. The ball going straight through from some difficult angles. That's 2 from the left hash, 1 from the right hash. Nolan was only 1 for 1 coming into the game, and that 1 from 30 yards. And here tonight, he's 3 for 3, plus 2 extra points kicked as well. So he's just having an outstanding night tonight.
3 for 3, 29-yarder there. Completes a 7-play, 35-yard drive, 2:38 off the clock. 23-0 Tigers.
So they were able to use. I was concerned before if they had a chance to get the ball back that they had used up their timeouts too soon in 2 situations, but they ended up working it out exactly right.
So Holy Cross to kick it off. That's been one of the most exciting plays, hasn't it?
Yes, indeed. They do their little bunch run up and then back out and spread out. So we'll see if they're going to sky it, are they going to squib it, are they going to line drive it.
Bounce it, field it at the 30, 35, 40, 41 and down. So Shaw will get it with 2 seconds, 1 second, and they let the clock run out. That's pretty interesting. Wow. I mean, there were still 3 or 4 seconds left on the clock. I don't know how you let that run out. Scott Bainsfather's not arguing. He's saying, let's go to the locker room. Everything else has gone wrong. We might as well get there. So it is halftime, and the Holy Cross Tigers are in control over Shaw by the score of 23-0. Impressive, Rick.
Very, very much so. Defensively, after adjusting to the sweeps that Shaw was running early in the game, have done a much better job of containing the Shaw offense. And you're starting to see some life out of the Holy Cross defense, not just the explosion, the explosive play of 71 yards, but you're starting to see some effectiveness on a consistent level by the Holy Cross offense. The offensive line is starting to play much more positively than they did early in the game. It's obvious that they're starting to feel good about themselves. The thing that they can be disappointed in that they didn't finish drives. After 1 turnover, had the ball in the red zone and couldn't punch it in the end zone, and 2 other times when they drove the ball into scoring range into the red zone inside the 20, couldn't finish those drives off either with touchdown scores. So the Holy Cross offense is starting to see some life. We had alluded to that earlier, that they were getting a little better every week after being shut out against Mandeville, scoring 13 against Hammond, and then scoring 31 last week. and now they've got 23 points in the first half this week. So scoring-wise, they're starting to become much more effective.
Halftime with our score, Holy Cross 23, Archbishop Shaw nothing. We'll take the timeout. Back with our halftime show in a moment. You are listening to Holy Cross Tiger Football on WGSO 990 AM at WGSO.com and watching it at SportsNOLA.com. Cross band now on the field at halftime, and our score is Holy Cross 23 and Shaw nothing. We'll take a timeout here. When we return, we'll tell you about the Hall of Fame inductees for Holy Cross Tiger Athletics taking place tonight and this weekend. We'll do so following this brief timeout. You are listening to and watching Holy Cross football on WGSO 990 AM at WGSO.com, and you're watching at SportsNOLA.com. Crossover Shaw, the half. Ken Trahan, Rick Gailey. Are you hungry yet, Rick?
Yes, indeed. I'm hungry for a burger.
You're hungry for a burger. It was Holy Cross night at Lakeview Harbor last night. What a great night it was, wasn't it?
Oh, it was absolutely outstanding. Over 100 people showed up at Lakeview Harbor, and Eric and the staff do something very interesting with their seniors, and now they've included all of their starters, that they have a pre-game night meal with the seniors, and now they've included, as I mentioned, included the starters. And they do that every single week. Well, they included that with the Holy Cross night at the Lakeview Harbor. So we had just a wonderful crowd, and the cooperation of Lakeview Harbor in putting this on. They have an excellent private meeting room, and the parents were able to bring some of the special things that they bring every single week for their senior pregame meal, and so they worked it out with Lakeview Harbor to be able to provide what Lakeview Harbor does and provide what the parents do, and with the cheerleaders there and the players and parents, it was just a spectacular evening for Countdown to the Original, the best we've had yet. And they've thrown down the gauntlet to the other schools that we have coming up, Ken, to be able to match the effort that the Tigers put forth last night, because it's a great time to be able to get together on a Friday night.
Well, it is indeed. It's a great night for Holy Cross Athletics tonight, because Hall of Fame inductions, the second annual Hall of Fame inductions for Holy Cross, and this proud institution of so many wonderful years of athletics. And what a great class you're talking about that has been honored here tonight and this year. As you look at these names, Tony Bowie, remember Tony very well, All-State, All-District football player in his senior season of 1989. Two-year letterman in baseball under Lou Carboni as well. Played college football and baseball at Arizona, where he was part of that Desert Swarm defense on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And one of the best football players ever at Arizona. Played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for 4 years on the NFL Players Association Board of Directors. William Birchall, class of 1951. Mr. Birchall joining Joe Heap as the only Tiger football players to have ever been named a three-time All-State selection. 4-year letterman in football, 2-year letterman in track, 4-year letterman in wrestling, captain in both football and track, one of the best linemen in Louisiana Prep history, All-State player. Tigers were champions when he was there. Billy Dalton, class of 69, 3-year letterman in track captain his senior year, letterman in football, stellar prep track career, undefeated in pole vault competitions, and he was the first ever state high school pole vaulter to clear 14 feet and later broke the USL school pole vault record. Just brilliant. Mr. Dalton punted for the Los Angeles Rams and the Saints in the 1974 preseason and was invited to the New Orleans Breakers USFL camp after hitting the gondola in the Superdome during tryouts. Remember the gondola?
Yes, indeed.
All right, Kenny Ratman, class of 1968. Ratman, a 4-sport letterman, including 4 years in baseball, 3 in football, basketball, and track. All-state in football. Outstanding amateur athlete, Greater New Orleans in 1967. Outstanding track athlete, 1968. Just a brilliant player. Part of the Holy Cross football team. The Tigers never lost to a Catholic League team when he was on the field. He played 4 years at Northwestern State and inducted into the Northwestern State N Club Hall of Fame in 1989. Also, Chuck Knowles, class of 69. Knowles, a 3-year letterman in both football and baseball for the Tigers. Named the district's outstanding football player in 1968. Most outstanding lineman in 68. Brilliant player. All-state, all-city MVP in baseball, team captain in both football and baseball. David Buck Landry, class of 61, 3-year letterman in football, wrestling, and track. While a student athlete at Holy Cross, all-state honors in football in 1961, 3-time all-state wrestler, team captain both football and wrestling. Played football for Tulane, where he was a 3-year starter, and is currently the president of the University of Holy Cross, which is formerly Our Lady of Holy Cross College. A friend of mine, Harry Nunez, class of 1962. Mr. Nunez, a 4-year letterman in football and baseball, and he earned another letter in track. All-state, all-Catholic, all-district in football. Baseball, all-Catholic, and all-district honors. 4-year letterman in football at SLU. Team MVP in 1965. 50 years of coaching now for Harry. As we speak, brilliant. William Billy Rapp. Billy is another guy I covered, and what a player he was. Class of 1983. Rapp earned all-state honors as a pitcher and infielder for the Tigers in 82 and 83. Metro MVP in 82. All-Metro 81 through 83. All-District as well. He was the batting champion of the Catholic League at .435 in 1981. As a pitcher, was 15 and 6 and posted an 0.83 earned run average his senior year. Won the trifecta in 1982. Took on the Catholic League Legion and Metro titles. Went on to play outfield and second base for Tulane. And Chris Thompson, class of 2000, a 3-year letterman in football and track. Earned all-district honors in 1999 before heading to Thibodaux to play football for Nicholls State. He had a Hall of Fame career for the Colonels from 2000 through 2003, a 2-time All-American. Finished his career with 11 interceptions, 8th on the program's all-time list. Went on to be drafted in the 5th round by the Jacksonville Jaguars in the NFL draft, and he had stints with the Chicago Bears and Buffalo Bills, and went on to play 8 years in the Canadian Football League and was an All-Star twice. He's now a member of the Nicholls State coaching staff. That is your class for Holy Cross Athletics of 2016. Pretty impressive, Rick.
Absolutely, my goodness. There's so many great players and individuals representing the Tigers over the many, many years of that excellent institution. And it's amazing that they only started that last year, Ken, with the number of great players that they've had come through there. And my goodness, when you're looking at the names that are going in this next class, just outstanding. It really brings back a lot of great memories and get your mind thinking back to some of the great events that we've had a chance to experience over all of that time. Just it's a wonderful thing, and I'm so happy that Holy Cross is doing that.
I am too. It's a great night for the Tigers of Holy Cross, not for the Tigers of LSU, who lost at Auburn 18-13. I think we may be witnessing the end of the Les Miles regime.
That's going to be difficult to bounce back from because Auburn's not very good.
No, I mean that's an average SEC team.
Yeah, at best, and you're supposed to be better than that. So, that's going to be hard to come back from. That really dashes a lot of the hope that football team has. We found out today that Wisconsin is maybe a little better than we gave them credit for. So that certainly could have been hopeful. But to not be able to go to Auburn and dispose of that football team is extremely disappointing.
And everybody tweeting about bad clock management on the last drive by LSU again. And Leonard Fournette had 2 carries in the fourth quarter in a close game. So What else is new?
Yeah, what's new? My
Ankle,
goodness,
yeah.
that clock management issue it's inexcusable.
Yeah.
That's something that you can rehearse, that you can plan for, that you could have procedures already in place. That is absolutely inexcusable, and it's plagued them for the entire regime. So there's enough negativity going on now, as it was termed by one of the sports writers. I think we talked about today, the buyout bowl.
Yes.
But
I think we know which way it's going now.
Yeah, and even this kind of win for Auburn is not all that reassuring.
Enough. Yeah, I mean, they beat a team that frankly is not all that good. I mean, LSU's offensive line is not that good, okay? They're not very good. Their receivers, by college standards, average, I'd say.
Yeah.
Their running back, exceptional. Quarterback, average at best. So, I mean, listen, you are what you are. They're just not very good offensively, and that's recruiting, and it's player development. Some stats from this game. In the first half, Ashton Smith had the big run, of course, 71 yards. And he's 8 carries for 109 yards and a touchdown. Holy Cross in the first half rushed for 147 yards and passed for 35 for 182 yards. Glenn Kramer was 4 of 8 for 35 yards in the half. Kim Wimberly, 2 catches, 32 yards. For Shaw, Rayon McGrew was the workhorse. 12 carries, 48 yards. Shaw rushed the ball for 72 yards, but passed for just 10 for a total of 82 yards. Wallace Lucas, 2 of 5 for 10 yards. And, of course, the big numbers in this one. The 2 turnovers by Shaw, and then the onside kick recovery by Holy Cross. That's 3 change of possessions.
That's right. And the long kickoff return to open the game when they were trying to angle a kick. So Holy Cross has had some explosive plays, even though they didn't score with that first series completely. Flipped the field with that. So they've had big plays in every phase of the game so far.
Well, I'm watching Pete Taylor. I mean, their starting quarterback. He's dressed tonight, but he has a back issue. He was questionable to play, and he doesn't have his helmet on. But I mean, the fact that he's dressed and was throwing the ball down there. I mean, it had to be a tough decision not to go with him tonight for Shaw.
That's opening game of district, and that is so important, setting the stage for entering Catholic League play. He must really be. I'm sure it was a very difficult decision for him, and I'm sure it's hurting him psychologically as well as physically, not being able to get in the game.
Yeah, and he came in 32 of 78 for 384 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 picks on the year. So what it's done is it's really made them a one-dimensional team. They just can't throw the ball down the field.
That is right. You can't spread the defense out. They're always moving forward and attacking you and just reacting to pass if it happens to show up. So now Holy Cross is going to be kicking off to start the second half. What can Shaw do to get themselves back in the game and to gain some confidence? There's 2 things they've got to have happen in this second half. Certainly they want to claw their way back into the game, but they've got to do something offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game, something that they can build on for the next weeks moving forward. So they've got to find something positive, and it's got to start right here in the second half with them getting the ball on the second half kickoff.
No question. So Holy Cross will kick it off, and obviously that's an adventure. Shaw will have 7 guys within, about 6 yards of midfield. Holy Cross always huddles, and they break it quick and run at the football and then see if you're prepared. And if you are, then they'll back off and set up and do whatever it was they intended to do.
Which could be anything. They force you to spread out and cover everywhere. The only thing they can't do is kick it very deep.
Here's the kickoff by Termini. This is going to be coming down about the 11. Upfield Charles to the 15, 20, 25, 30. Daquan Charles dives to about the 33. And again, Shaw has had pretty good field position throughout. It's not been the issue for them at all.
That's exactly right. Very well executed that time on their kickoff return. That's the one thing that Holy Cross, shortcoming that they do have, and one of the reasons why they probably have to do so many different things kickoff-wise is that they cannot kick it very deep. That one was only to the 11-yard line, I believe. And so that's a bit of a shortcoming there. But an excellent return by Shaw giving them good field position.
From the 33, first and 10. And off the fake, the throw is caught by Thomas at the 40, goes outside, he's got loose, 45, and ridden out of bounds near midfield. Nice play fake, and Lucas hits Taji Thomas for a first down.
And that's something Lucas can do. That's the second one like that he fakes the ball on the inside zone play to the running back and then stands up and pops the ball to the outside receiver who works between the flat and curl defenders. And this time doing that to the right-hand side. That's something he can do, and that really does affect the defense.
First and 10 at the Shaw 49-yard line. Their opening possession of the second half. Motion left, slotted there, and running left. McGrew is hit and dropped for no gain. Great pursuit down the line of scrimmage, and getting there to make the stop is Tyler Grubbs. The freshman linebacker again all over him.
Beautiful tackle, this time running the sweep from right to left. Grubbs doing a great job of pursuing the play from the inside out because the linebacker has got to be able to take the right angle to where he doesn't overrun the play. You can't just run so fast and just run directly to the sideline where the back can cut it behind you. He timed it perfectly and made a great form tackle.
Second and 10 of the 49. Lucas, it's a four-man rush, play fakes. He's going to get hit and sacked from behind. You could see the clean blitzer coming unblocked. Trevor Garcia off the corner, gets there, nails him for the sack back at the 45.
Really nice job by Garcia in a strong safety blitz coming from the short side. The ball was on the left hash mark, and it was going to be a play-action pass. Good, nice ride, but Trevor was coming from the short side of the field and from the blind side of Lucas and had a clear, unblocked shot.
Third and 14 from the 45. Three receivers to the right, a single to the left. Against the three-man rush, Lucas wants to throw. It's a screen, but Holy Cross is all over it. Incomplete, and it's just as well because there were blue shirts surrounding Rayon McGrew, the intended receiver, and the Eagles must punt.
Nice job by Kenny Carradine, the young man who had the long return for a score in the first quarter. As he started into his pass rush from the right end position, he realized they were trying to slip a screen behind him, and he stopped, retraced his steps, and was right there to help break up the play.
Pat Leonard to punt. Chase Rosano is deep. Rosano stands at his 25, and there's a high snap. Got it off in time against the rush. Wobbly spiral is going to bounce at the 35, 30, and rolls down near the 25-yard line. It's hard turf here. Ball will bounce and roll. And at the 25 is where Holy Cross will start its first possession of the second half with 9:57 to play in the third quarter on top of Shaw, 23-0.
Really good job of getting that punt off because the snap was slow, but it was also high. Had to jump up in the air to corral the snap and get it on his foot as quick as possible because as usual, Holy Cross's punt block team was coming at him hard. So an excellent job in being able to get that off and have Holy Cross now backed up to the 25.
Ashton Smith is the running back, twin receivers left. Fullback Lamarck slotted left side. Offset eye to the wide side. And they'll run that way with Smith. Bounced off a one. Breaks to the outside. Is tackled in the open field by Charles. Good play, and a flag comes down at the 27. Smith looked like he was popping out of the pack, but Charles got him. And two flags are down. One on either side of the field. Which makes you wonder if it's the same infraction.
Yeah, have one on each hash mark, so this is going to be two different penalties.
Either way, it's holding on Holy Cross, right?
Yep. So that a really nice effort in running the football, but the hold is going to really back them up now at the 15-yard line.
I guess that's one of the things you have to work on and have to be concerned about if you're the Tigers. It's 4 holding penalties in this game.
And that's part of them not being able to finish drives, because even though they overcame 2 of them in one of the drives that led to a field goal, that's what kept them out of the end zone, was the 20 yards in penalties, and all of those are avoidable.
Correct. So it's first and 20 from the 15. Man in motion into the formation. Fake it, gonna run a draw play inside with Smith. Shook one, shook two, breaks loose. He's at the 30, he's at the 40. He's knocked down at about the 45-yard line with a first down for Holy Cross. Ashton Smith with outstanding speed gets 29.
Very interesting design to that play. Multiple threats going on at the very same time out of the shotgun snap, that you're faking the speed sweep, you're faking a drop back pass, and then handing the ball off on a draw. So you've got multi-dimensional type of actions going on in the same play, and just being able to break it out into the secondary, make up for the holding penalty, and get Holy Cross back on track. Great job by Ashton Smith again.
First and 10 from the 44-yard line. Snap it, run it inside. This is Bates. He breaks through at midfield. He cuts back at the 45. He's at the 40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5. Touchdown, Landon Bates. He shows off his speed, and he breaks it 56 yards for a touchdown. And Holy Cross extends the lead to 29-0.
Running a power blocking type play that time, getting some down blocks and double team blocks at the point of attack, and pulling the left guard through the hole to wall off the linebacker, and Landon Bates knows what to do with it. That's a pretty good 1-2 punch there at the running back position, Ken, with Ashton Smith and Landon Bates. And once he got a little bit of a seam, Shaw could not gain any ground.
Heimmeyer, who's been terrific for the extra point. And he has knocked it through. So a timeout on the field. We have 9:13 to play. Third quarter, it's Holy Cross 30 and Shaw nothing. Back in a moment. This is Holy Cross football on WGSO 990 AM at WGSO.com, and you're watching at SportsNOLA.com.
Your Tiger scoring drive brought to you by the Holy Cross Director of Student Services Department. Your Tigers go 3 plays, covering 75 yards, taking 40.
Play drive, 75 yards, just 44 seconds off the clock, and a 56-yard touchdown run by Landon Bates gets it done. And the Tigers now lead it 30-0. As Termini will kick it off, and he hits it high in the air and short to about the 20. Fielded there. 25 Brooks to the 30-35. Brooks tackled at about the 36. So Shaw will get it back. First and 10 at its own 37-yard line with 9:05 to play in the third, and a 30-0 lead for Holy Cross. And now the Shaw offense will try to find anything to do damage here. They've been unable to do so tonight. And it's hot and humid, but we're just simulating the winter here in the press box at Tad Gormley, as it's been about 50 degrees up here during the night. Rick's just adjusted that.
Yeah, we don't have that cool breeze. My gosh.
Here's McGrew running left. McGrew's in big trouble. McGrew shook one, shook two. Boy, made a good run to get about 5 yards, as the blue shirts were all over him, diving at him left and right, but he somehow squeezed out 5 yards on the run.
The third quarter couldn't have started much more difficultly for the Eagles, even though they did get a first down the last series, having to punt the football and then giving up big plays again to the Holy Cross offense. Mm-hmm. Let's see if they could find something to build on in this particular drive.
2nd and 5 at the 42. Trip set right, single receiver left. Snap it, fake it. Lucas wants to throw the quickie, and he missed his receiver, overshooting him. In the seam at about the 47-yard line for Thomas. Pass led him too much, no chance to catch it. It falls incomplete. It is 3rd and 5.
Had the safety blitz coming again from the short side, and it looked like Lucas felt it because he's been accurate on that quick throw after play action to the hitching receiver, and this time tried to throw it too hard, too fast, and was wild high.
3rd and 5 from the Shaw 42. Snap it. Lucas wants to throw, floats it incomplete. Over the head of his intended receiver, Thomas, out near about the 48. Would have been first down yardage, but the pass was tall as he threw it to the right hash mark, and it was actually intended for 19, Chris Gilmore. And it was just a little bit over his head. Long throw to make, and he threw it too high, and a punting situation for Shaw.
Took a pretty strong throw to overthrow that because the ball's on the left hash mark, and the ball was all the way out, almost to the right boundary, certainly outside the numbers to the right side. So you see some ability out of Lucas, not much experience at the position, but you see some athleticism, you see some ability. Let's hope that the young man is learning lessons right now, because as a sophomore, they're going to depend on him, certainly in
Holy Cross looks like they're coming after this one, 10-man front. Pass, and now they're not going to come. And a rugby-style kick right side. Takes a bounce sideways and is going to end up down at about the 34-yard line of the Tigers. But you can see what the Holy Cross pressure does. Shaw's trying to tighten people up, and the punter's running right to try to escape pressure. And they weren't even coming on that one. But that's, again, just great deception. They do such a good job.
Yes, that's you can't say too much about that, and I fully appreciate that because I spent so much time studying and coaching and working with special teams going all the way back to when I was at Tulane University in 82, 83, and 84. And so when you see not only multiple schemes and being able to put those schemes into play in a game, but the fundamental execution, it is something that is really beautiful, and they do a great job of it.
1st and 10 of the 34 for Holy Cross, leading 30-0. They're going to run it inside. Breaking a tackle, Smith sprints across the 40 and gets to about the 42. Good run by Ashton Smith. He's been a star in this game.
You're starting to see some ability of the Tigers being able to block inside. They're doing some things offensively that are going to really see them through going forward. Their running backs really had to come through this year, even if Chandler Fields was there, because of the inexperience of their wide receivers. And they're showing some real threats in the running back position.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2 at the 42. And they're going to run it inside right. No, a keeper actually, and this is going to be hit for a loss. Kramer on the replay kept it and turned out to be the wrong decision. He's dropped for a loss back at the 40-yard line.
Really good fake by Glenn Kramer, except that he certainly fooled us because I thought he had given the ball inside. But the Shaw defense held its ground and ended up throwing it for a loss. So it was good ball handling, but not the right decision to keep the football.
So loss of 2 to the 40. And that will make it 3rd down and 4. Smith back in and running back. Snap it. Give it to Smith. He's going to be hit and drop for no gain. That time the Shaw defense was there and taking care of business for the Eagles. It was number 94, Tyrone Miles, a 6'2", 270 senior. Stopped Smith for no gain. It's 4th and 4.
Good penetration that time, and penetration is what kills the running game. They were trying to run the tailback counter to the right-hand side, to the tight end side, have everybody block down, pull the backside guard, and the fullback through the hole. But the penetration of the Shaw Eagles that time prevented Holy Cross from being able to put that together, as we now have the water break, the hydration break at exactly 6 minutes, so the officials got that right.
Every time I hear the terminology water break, somehow I'm scanning the sideline looking for Adam Sandler, and I'm not finding him. Need some H2O, buddy. Quality H2O, not just any. So with 6 minutes to play in the third, Holy Cross in command, 30-0. The Tigers will have a rare punt forthcoming here as Shaw gets a stop. And for the Eagles, it's strictly a numbers game. They don't have the depth. They don't have the overall talent, but they're missing their starting quarterback, and that certainly hurts.
Turn it loose when he gets his feet up under him, because that was a very well-designed out and up to the right-hand side, and it takes a pretty good heave to overthrow the receiver down that right sideline, but that's exactly what happened. Well-designed play, just a couple of feet from being able to complete it.
2nd and 10, Eagles at their own 4, 2:50 to play in the third, 30-0, Holy Cross in command.
Would have rolled a long way if he allowed that to get to the ground, so a very nice operation of being able to get to that punt reception. Saved the Holy Cross Tigers a bunch of yards there.
So Wimberly does so, and he gets the Tigers the ball at the Eagles' 31-yard line with 1:50 to play in the third, 30-0 Holy Cross on top.
Now we got to see if the Tigers can finish a drive off. They have great field position here. They've really got to be concerned with trying to drive this one all the way into the end zone.
Kramer shotgun, gives to Smith, inside left, dives to the 25, picks up 6.
He's really starting to feel it, Ken, in that inside zone run game, being able to run between the left guard and left tackle, running that semicircular path. He's really starting to get a great feel for the inside zone runs.
2nd and 4 from the 25. And here's a Smith run again inside, and he drags a tackler close to the first down, about the 22. He'll have 3, and it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Pretty nice surge by the Holy Cross offensive line. Mason Boudreau, a senior, leading that charge, along with Randall Amos, another senior, Christian Zabo. That's the 3 seniors in the offensive line. Jack Tomany, a junior, and Austin Werland as a sophomore, rounding out that particular group. That should be a group that grows as they go forward with the experience that they have.
3rd and 1 from the 22. Quick snap on the fullback, Lamarck. He gets a carry, broke a tackle, gets a first down as he rambles down to the 15-yard line. Love to see that fullback get a cookie, and Parker Lamarck took the cookie and he ate it.
That is exactly right. They do a lot of the dirty work in making offenses run, but when you slip one to the fullback, especially in short yardage, that's a great reward for all the neck shortening activities that fullbacks participate in.
They do have to run another play before the quarter expires. It's 1st down and 10 at the Shaw 15, under 10 seconds to play in the quarter. And they're going to run Smith right inside the 6, down to the 5 he goes on what was the final play of the third quarter. And we'll go to the other end at the end of 3 quarters. Holy Cross in control, 30-0 over Shaw. Back in a moment. This is Holy Cross football on WGSO 990 AM at WGSO.com, and you can watch it at SportsNOLA.com.
Once again, a reminder, you can listen to tonight's game on WGSO.
5 of the Shaw 10. Ken Trahan, Rick Gailey with you. And Kramer under center is going to run Smith left. Smith dives down inside the 5 as a first and goal, but a flag comes down again behind the play. Could this be? Yes, it is. The 6th holding penalty against Holy Cross in the game. They also had one that was declined. So the holding coach is going to have to do a lot of work this week.
That's exactly right. Wow, somebody's not getting the memo that you're not supposed to do what you're doing, because so many of them look like they're occurring on the right side of the offense especially. But that was a referee once again who's behind the play, so whatever he's seeing, that's not getting corrected as they go forward.
Well, it's 8 penalties, 85 yards, and 6 of them have been holding penalties. There was a personal foul, and then there was that procedure penalty, and those are the other 2. So it's 2nd down from the 20 and 15 to go. Run Smith right. He's hit and downed after about a yard gain.
That's one of the few things tonight that Holy Cross has not done well, and that's the number of penalties, especially the holding variety type of penalties. They've been able to overcome it a bit, but it's costing them touches, turning touchdowns into field goals in the past. And here they were again, going to be in position to get the ball in scoring territory and have themselves back up. They've got to be able to condition themselves to finish drives.
So it's 3rd down and 1. Excuse me, 3rd down from the 14. From the 19 and 14 to go. Kramer wants to throw, does outside, incomplete, intended for Bates. So unable to make connections. And it's 4th down, and will Heimmeyer try a field goal again? I would think so.
They had an opportunity there with Landon Bates flaring out of the backfield. He was going to have a shot up that left sideline, but the ball was inaccurately put in front of it.
So we'll get a field goal attempt by Heimmeyer. Nolan Heimmeyer's been terrific. This will be from 36 yards. This is dead center. He's shown us that he can kick from the left hash and the right hash. Now we'll see if he can make one down the middle from 36. Snap good, the spot good, the kick is going through the uprights. Good again. Nolan Heimmeyer with his 4th field goal of the game. Town onto the field. 10:44 to play. It's Holy Cross 33, Shaw nothing. Back in a moment. This is Holy Cross football on WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com, and at SportsNOLA.com. And the kick is a short one, fielded by the short man at the 30. Trying to run around to the right side, across the entire field and going nowhere is the return man to the 33. So,
as tempting as it is to try to take that short, high kick from one boundary and one hash mark to take it to the open field, that very seldom works out. You spend more time running sideways. You got to catch those short kicks and do your best to get straight up the field.
There's Brock Davis on the return, and Shaw will start from its own 33 with 10:33 left to play. Lucas has gone all the way at quarterback. Again, Pete Taylor with a back problem has not played tonight. Here's Lucas in shotgun. Takes the snap. runs McGrew, who gets hit for a loss, dropped in the backfield. Great job for Holy Cross by Red Weinenbacher. Weinbacher, great penetration all over him, -3 to the 30. It's 2nd and 13.
Holy Cross defense really got some penetration that time on the right side of the defensive line and just smothered it as they were bringing another strong safety blitz from the boundary. Trevor Garcia was coming once again, but this time he was coming from the opposite direction.
So it's 2nd and 13 from the 30. And a bad snap, chasing it down and falling on it way back at the 18 or 17-yard line is Lucas. When it rains, it pours for Shaw.
It's amazing that when things really start turning bad, it's hard to stop that negative momentum. Now, for the first time tonight, we get a snap that is not accurate and leads to another big loss.
So it's 3rd down from the 18-yard line. And 25 to go. Lucas wants to pass. Looking, throwing deep down the middle. Ball's tipped and incomplete. Great job leaping to get a hand on it by number 6, Kyrie Currington, because Monzel McCoy had cleared the defenders. If the ball had a little bit more air under it, he might still be running.
That was one that he needed to get some air under, give the receiver a chance to run under it, because even as deep as the safeties were in the Holy Cross secondary, there was some space behind them. That has happened on a couple of times tonight, receivers getting behind the defense.
So it'll be a punt for Leonard. Pat Leonard's been busy tonight. Wimberley's been busy returning punts. Snap good, no rush. End over end kick. Bounces, and that's going to take a big bounce for sure. That's what you're talking about. This is going to end up being about a 25-yard bounce back to about the 28-yard line. This rock-hard turf, it hits it. If it catches it right, it's going to bounce and roll for a while.
Absolutely, and that's and he knew it, that he tried to signal for a fair catch, and to be able, Wimberley, we're talking about Kim Wimberley, knew that he had to get up there and try to catch it, but he felt it was too risky, in his opinion, to take a chance on running up and catching it in the air, and it led to a big turnaround.
Don't see many teams employ twin returners on punts anymore. Is that something that people should think about in circumstances like these?
Yes, very much so. And you've got to have that as part of your plan to be able to do that. It's easier to balance with only one returner. It's easier to balance the rest of the team in being able to match up with all the various alignments that you're getting now in the punt game. But very often, especially in high school, you should have more than one returner, or certainly have a scheme to be able to do that.
1st and 10 Tigers from their own 29. And new quarterback in the game. We'll tell you about that in a moment. And the run by Bates got back to the line of scrimmage. That's all. No gain. 2nd and 10. The new quarterback is Drake Rothell, the senior who actually stepped in and played when Chandler Fields got hurt, but then Kramer replaced him. So Rothell gets the opportunity here. It's no gain on the play for Bates, and it's 2nd and 10.
In fact, going back to perhaps having two returners when we played up at Winsboro in 1994, when Booger McFarland was playing for them, that very scheme that you're talking about, because we had a 10-man front most of the time, but we dropped a person back as we were punting away from our single returner, and that led to some bad punts. We ended up winning the game 21-20.
2nd and 10 from the 29. Toss play right to Bates. He's going to be hit in the backfield and drop for a loss of a yard or two. Good penetration by Peyton Clement for Shaw.
Very good defensive line play on both of those plays in this particular series. The Shaw defense is still playing hard, that time getting good penetration, leading to a loss.
Loss of 1. It's 3rd and 11 from the 28. 7:35 and counting. Holy Cross will win their district opener in their 2nd straight game of the year. They're up 33-0 on Shaw here in the 4th quarter. Holy Cross won last year in a game on WGSO, 38-22 over at Haas Memphis. They're going to beat Shaw for the second straight year. Off the fake, Rothell rolls left, stops, throws, and he misses his man, incomplete. Good tight coverage for Shaw by Brooks. Pass was intended for 89, Andre Sakuna, the tight end.
Did a really nice job, Shaw did, on the bootleg. The tight end was running a crossing pattern. They faked the run to the right, was bootlegging it back to the left. Good technique by Drake Rothell in being able to sprint to his left and still get some mustard on the football. So there was some pretty good execution there.
No ketchup. No mayonnaise? No?
Nope, just mustard. No
relish, mustard. Pickles? No?
Nope.
All right.
Nope, mustard. It's a hot dog. You don't put it.
It's getting late. I'm getting hungry. Punt is away. Short punt will bounce, and will go out of bounds in Shaw territory. And about the 47, 48, 49. Where's he going to stop? 50? He hasn't stopped yet. They're going to mark this out of bounds in Holy Cross territory. So it went out of bounds at the Holy Cross 46, according to the mark. And Shaw will get it on the plus side with 6:59 to play, trailing the Tigers 33-0.
Holy Cross defense pitching a shutout so far. The defensive coordinator is someone I'm familiar with, Ken Adam Giglio, 2005 graduate of Holy Cross. I coached his father, Tommy Giglio, at Chalmette High School. And, boy, what a fine young man Adam has really developed into an excellent football coach.
First and 10 of the 46. Snap it, run it inside right, cut back play. McCoy looks to go reverse and left side, finds room, 40, 35, good run. Bumped out of bounds near the 35-yard line. Monsell McCoy made a good run. And going to mark him a yard short of the first down of the 37, 2nd and 1.
He's got some quicks there because he was running the inside play to the right-hand side, saw that wasn't there, and was able to reverse his field and get to the opposite outside very quickly. Got some quick feet.
Worked with Adam's mom.
Yep.
At LaCie. Exactly right. Nice person. 2nd and 1 at the 37. Snap it, run it right. McCoy cuts back, nice cut, gets a first down. Still on his feet inside the 30. Good run by McCoy down to the 27. He picks up 10 and a first down.
Very good. Yes, his mother, Adam's mother, Judy Giglio. What a wonderful family they are. And Adam is a great representative of that.
So the Eagles get their first down of the half. 1st and 10 at the Holy Cross 27. 6:35 and counting. Water breaks on the way. Twin receivers right in a slot that way. Shotgun, Lucas. Takes the snap. And they run McCoy on a cutback play left. Quarterback gets a block. McCoy stumbles and he's down at the line of scrimmage. Couldn't keep his balance trying to reverse field on what looked like a design cutback, but couldn't keep his feet and he's tackled for no gain.
He was getting ready to run his own reverse. It was shut off to the right-hand side, and it looked like he had out-leveraged the defense, Ken, and he was going to get around it, and then the turf monster got him, and he tripped and stumbled.
And the timeout occurs here for the water break right at the 6-minute mark. 33-0 Holy Cross. Well, they're on their way to victory here tonight. Really no doubt in this one from the opening of the game. Holy Cross has been the better team.
Exactly, from taking the short kickoff to open the game and returning it all the way down to, I believe, the 30-yard line. From that point forward, really didn't provide much breathing room for the Eagles, even though they had made a couple of first downs in their first drive, and then it turned their fumble into points for Holy Cross. That really kept the fortunes moving Holy Cross's way. But we've mentioned two of the coordinators so far, Ken. We mentioned Lance Lacoste and Adam Giglio, special teams and defensive coordinators. Offensive coordinator is somebody we know well as well, and the running backs coach, that's Lon Elzey. And he's done an excellent job putting his plan together and having it executed tonight.
On 2nd down, rolling right. Lucas throws outside and a little bit high. Incomplete off the hands of his intended receiver, who was Paul Snowden. And it will be third down.
Yeah, trying to sprint to the right to get a little bit of momentum behind his throw, shorten the throw a little bit, get away from the pressure. But he was wild high once again on that.
So third down for the Eagles and 11 yards to go from the 28. Here's another roll right by Lucas. Has time, surveys, throws. That's a good throw and caught at about the 16. Should be a first down for the Eagles. Nice throw to Thomas, who made the catch and gets the first down. Or does he? No, he did not get there. Inside the 20 to 19, so it's 4th and 2.
Yeah, didn't get a particularly favorable spot there. He looked like he got knocked back to that position, but a good throw and catch. Overall, finding a soft spot in the zone and curling up in there, and pretty good throw on target.
So 4th and 2, they'll go for it from the 19. Lucas in shotgun, 3 receivers left. He'll take the snap, and he'll run it left with McCoy. Looks for the cutback, fights hard, but he's not going to get there. The Tiger defense is held. He's a yard short, and Holy Cross will get the ball back. What a job by the Tiger defense to preserve this shutout.
Absolutely. They have done just a tremendous job during the course of the evening. And there's the official indication of what you had accurate all along, that he was a yard short of it. So anytime that looks like Shaw might have a little bit of breathing room, the defense really stands up and stops him cold. So just an excellent job by the Holy Cross defense. Shaw's got some work to do offensively. This is if it stays this way, this is the 3rd shutout in 4 games, and if you don't have all of your weapons, and in week 4 you usually don't.
No.
You're going to have some people hurt. You hope it's not your quarterback, but here we got a situation that both teams are playing with backups.
Rethel, the quarterback. Landon Bates, the running back. 1st and 10 Tigers at the 18 with 4:53 to play. Bates gets the call, makes a nice cut, crosses the 20, bounced off a tackler, and gets to the 23. A gain of 5. Holy Cross would like to make a first down or 2 and end this game here if they can.
That's right. Now's the time that you're trying to demonstrate that you can go into your what we call 4-minute offense. You have a 2-minute offense, that's a hurry up. Doesn't have to be right at 2 minutes, but the end of the game or end of half offense is often referred to as the 4-minute offense. And they'd like to be able to manage the clock, block the opposition, and run the ball downhill and make something happen there in their 4-minute offense.
2nd down and 5 from the 23. We approach the 4-minute mark to play. And they give to Bates in the backfield hit. He'll be dropped for a loss. So the Shaw defense still playing hard. That'll be a loss back to about the 21, which would be a loss of 2.
They wound up with all 11 defenders at the ball that time. Ken, that shows that everybody, including the secondary, is still playing hard. They're taking pride in their work, and they're seeing things through to the end. That's called roll call on the ball, when you get the entire football team within just a few yards of where the ball was behind the line of scrimmage. So great effort by the Shaw Eagle defense.
3rd and 7 from the 21, so the Eagles could get it back here with a stop. So we have 3:18 and counting to play. Bates the deep back, and they're going to play fake. Rothel wants to throw it. He does, and it is incomplete. That'll stop the clock. A little bit unusual to see that in this situation. I guess I get it. They want to make sure they give their quarterback some game experience, but incomplete stops the clock, and Shaw will get the ball back.
Right. That's not what you want to do necessarily in 4 minutes, but then you also have the conflicting feeling that you need to give him some Drake Rothel every bit of opportunity to try to do something and improve his particular skill, because you very, very well may need his services down the road.
Agreed. Low snap, digs it out. Rothel gets it off. It's going to bounce at midfield, sideways bounce. for about 5 or 6 yards to the Shaw 44, and the Eagles will get it back at that point with 2:57 to play, trailing Holy Cross 33-0.
Now let's see if Shaw, with one last opportunity to try to get some points on the boards, because while Holy Cross is battling to try to keep their shutout, that's something that they would take great pride in. You're looking at the Eagle offense that's desperate to get some points on the board.
So the Eagles start from the 44. Lucas will lead them out there once more. One more chance to get something done offensively. McCoy will be the running back. On 1st and 10. Snap it, fake it, throw it outside. That's caught around midfield. And then driven back on the play with the reception is Paul Snowden. To the 49, a gain of 5.
Nice timing there on the hitch route into the short side of the field. That the receiver takes 5 quick steps and then stops, and the ball is right there on time. Very difficult to stop that with Cameron Lyon on the coverage.
2nd down and 5. Shaw at its own 49, 2:25 to play. Rolling left is Lucas. Looking, throwing outside, flag down, ball is dropped. So a drop on the play and a flag on the play.
And this one is by
Gilmore
the
could not hold it.
Yep. And this might be a holding penalty on Shaw and a decision, and they're going to go ahead and take the penalty.
So that's a 10-yard penalty. It's the 5th on Shaw for 38 yards.
Timing was a little bit off on that one. Throw was a little bit late. Got to get the ball out on time. A receiver was open. They're trying to sprint to the outside breaking type of route. Shorten the throw, get away from the pass rush. But the ball's got to get out on time.
2nd and 20, or 2nd and 15. And the run inside. To the 40, maybe the 41. Just run the clock here. As that's McCoy.
Still seeing a good number of starters in on the Holy Cross defense. So it's important for them to be able to finish the game as well. There's some substitution, but there's... there's
3rd and 13 here from the 41 with 1:28 and counting. Or is it 4th down? I got the marker says 3rd down. The down marker says, the scoreboard says 4th down. I think it's 3rd down. Personally, I'm sticking with that. 3rd and 15. Wants to throw. Lucas is throwing deep down the middle. Man there caught at the 35. At the 30. Foot race 25-20. 15 and knocked out of bounds is Thomas. Good throw by Lucas. Thomas with a big play. Biggest play of the game for Shaw. Inside the 10. Down about the 7. 1st and goal Eagles.
Very nice throw and catch. First started with the pass protection because that was a deep in-breaking route, and so he needed time to be able to get the ball out, give the receiver a chance to uncover, put it on him right in stride, well down the field to get the ball down to the 7-yard line. So that's certainly an encouraging play from the pass protection aspect, the throw and the catch.
52 yards, 1st and goal at the 7. With 1:04 to play, Eagles threaten here. McCoy in the backfield with Lucas. And McCoy gets the call, bounces it outside left. Trying to get to the corner. Great defense to stop him. He reverses field, comes the other way, gets a block, gets another block. He's at the 10, he's at the 5, cuts in, and he's out of bounds at the 1. Well, you think Shaw's not still competing? So is Holy Cross. I mean, they were determined to keep him out. McCoy just ran a mile and ends up at the 1-yard line on a gain of 6.
All the way to the left. Looked like he had an angle to begin with, and then that got shut out. Great hustle by the Holy Cross defense. Turned all the way back around, tried the lunge at the end at the right pylon, but he had stepped out of bounds before that.
2nd and goal at the 1. Lucas under center will sneak in, and he is not going to get there. stopped inside the 1. It's 3rd and goal, and the clock's running. 35 seconds left.
And you got to play it out. If you have to call a timeout and give you 2 more snaps to try to score, you need to be able.
And you need to try to score here if you're Shaw. Holy Cross trying hard to preserve the shutout. 3rd and goal at the 1. Sneak it again. They get a push and they'll score this time. Touchdown, Eagles, as Lucas pushes it in with 16 seconds left to avert the shutout.
That was pretty remarkable there, Ken, how both of those teams were competing so hard at the end. Even though the game, the result of the game was not in doubt, what the 2 teams, the intestinal fortitude that they have, competing as hard as they can, that's why you play the game.
Pat Leonard for the extra point attempt. Boy, hit it high, and he got it through. So with 16 seconds left, it's Holy Cross 33, Archbishop Shaw 7.
It's a good thing he hit it high. There's great pressure from Holy Cross coming from the left side of the extra point team, the right side of the rush team. And I could see with that quickness coming off the edge, not only the athletic ability, but how tight that the outside rusher came around that wing back. You can be fast, but if you take a poor angle, you can't get there. But there you could see that pressure coming from the outside. You could see why they blocked so many of those kicks.
Yeah, they just put pressure on you every time. They want to.
That's right, and that's what ended up salting the game away last week against Chalmette. Chalmette's going from being able to win the game in 1 second to giving up a touchdown right after that. Holy Cross has had some explosive plays the last couple of weeks in unconventional ways with 2 big fumble recoveries tonight, 1 for a score, 1 led to a field goal, getting a kick return after the blocked field goal last week for a score, and a 71-yard run and other big runs. They've been developing into a pretty explosive football team.
So the Eagles will kick it off with 16 seconds left in the game, trailing Holy Cross 33-7. Kick is away, high, down the middle. Rosano at his 11 will take a knee. It's class on the part of Eric Roboto, but you'd expect nothing less.
And a smart play, too, because he got the front lines that are up to prevent against a possible onside kick. And you tell the deep guy that since you're not going to have the same blocking that you normally have in a kickoff return, take it up as far as you can and then take a knee, because you don't want to take an unnecessary hit that can lead to a fumble right there. So you just hit the ground, take a knee in this particular case, and avoid any potential of disaster. We got 1 more knee and then this game will be over.
So the Tigers will take a knee here. Rothell does that. And this one is over as the Holy Cross Tigers have won their Catholic League opener, defeating Archbishop Shaw in solid fashion by the score of 33-7 here this evening. No doubt that the Tigers were in command throughout, and they walk away with their 2nd consecutive win to go to 2-2 and 1-0 in District 9-5A. And the Eagles dropped 0-4 with the defeat. And the Eagles 0-1 in district play. So once again, our final, Holy Cross 33 and Shaw 7. We'll take the timeout, and Rick and I will return with some final analysis in just a moment. You are listening to Holy Cross Tigers football on WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com, and watching at SportsNOLA.com. The score of 33-7 here this evening at Tad Gormley Stadium as the Shaw alma mater takes place in one of the great Catholic League traditions. Teams stand at attention for each other while alma maters take place, and it's a wonderful tradition that dates back a long time. Were they doing this when you coached in the Catholic League, Rick?
Yes.
It's been a long time. I mean, it's a respect thing as much as anything for like institutions that really do respect and appreciate each other. And then the Shaw side will turn toward the Holy Cross side, and the Holy Cross alma mater will be struck up, and it will be a similar circumstance. So that's really something nice to see. But what was nice to see if you're a Holy Cross fan tonight is the fact that the Tiger offense got some big plays. The defense was stout. The kicking game, per usual, made some big plays.
There's a lot of things to be encouraged about on the Holy Cross side. One is the explosiveness that they showed offensively, and defensively being able to take advantage of opportunities that was presented to them, and the pressure that they keep on the opposition, both on defense and in the kicking game. On the other hand, what they have to be able to work on is finishing drives, and they killed themselves in penalties, turning touchdowns into field goals and stopping drives altogether with the multiple number of holding penalties that they had, especially offensively. So cutting down on penalties and finishing drives are going to be two big points of emphasis for the Tigers this week as they get ready to play Jesuit next week.
Well, it's the Great American Rivalry Series renewed. What a matchup it is. Holy Cross and Jesuit here at Tad Gormley Stadium next Friday night. And it should be another huge crowd, always around 10,000 or more. Should be the case next week. Highly anticipated. Last year was an instant classic as the Tigers won in overtime over Jesuit in a thriller in a game that was live at SportsNOLA.com and live at WHNO TV 20, and that will be the case again this Friday night. And watching them, both entities, if you can't make it here, that's one you always want to be at and always want to see. Right. It just drips with history, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, indeed. And it is something that is palpably felt by everybody in the stadium that they're a part of it. And it's remarkable the number of great plays under pressure that are produced because of the great pride that each school has in their institution, and they're playing for more than themselves in a game such as that. So part of the Hannon Classic, and they'll all be at the Cannery next Tuesday for the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club as well. So as we had mentioned earlier, that's a great way to get the sport week started and going through next week for these teams with the great rivalry of Shaw and Rummel next week at Hoss-Memphis Stadium, and that will be on Saturday. And on the Friday, Jesuit and Holy Cross here at Tad Gormley.
And we mentioned earlier we'll have that megaphone game between Shaw and Rummel here on WRBH 88.3 FM next Saturday night at 7. On WGSO, we'll also have Brother Martin and St. Augustine same night on WGSO 990 AM. So 2 games on radio. You can tune in to either one you like and enjoy it. And, of course, Friday night live, Holy Cross and Jesuit on WHNO TV 20 and SportsNOLA.com. And it's going to be a fun time, to say the least. Rick, it was fun here tonight, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, indeed. It's great seeing the start of Catholic League district play and seeing these two teams at work. Great night for Holy Cross. Lots of work still done for Shaw. But the best part out of all of this is the lessons that all of these young people, all of these young men especially, are learning from playing the great sport of football. And even though everything was pretty one-sided tonight, watching two great coaching staffs work. Coach Bain's father will coach his team just as hard and just as thoroughly as any team that he's ever had. He's Shaw through and through, there's no doubt about that. And so all the young people get a lot out of their experience here tonight.
No doubt about it. And Holy Cross a winner tonight, 33-7. Rick, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, it's a great day. 3 tailgaters early, and this in the evening, gosh, doesn't get much better than this, and looking forward to a lot more great opportunities through the rest of the year.
Indeed. And we thank all of you for being part of this tonight as well. We want to thank our guys with SportsNOLA.com for a job well done as well. And also our man Chris back in the studio, and we thank you for being part of it. Once again, our final score tonight was Holy Cross 33, Shaw 7. For Rick Gailey, this is Ken Trahan saying thanks for joining us and be a good sport. God bless you one and all. We are rounding third and heading home. So long.